Org.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Vitrano.
Suspect is now in custody, connected with his sexual assault last week near the Marquette campus.
Erik Bilstad.
A lot of questions about what happened at the border. A government drone shot down by the U.S. military in southwest Texas.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
We got a little bit of a backup heading through the stadium interchange on westbound 94.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
March into big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Refresh your home this season with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, beautiful new siding, or a stunning bath remodel and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during their March savings event. But this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Six o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, March 2nd, our top story. Attacks continue across the Middle East.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A deadly suburban house fire.
I'm Debbie Lozica, westbound on 94. Just before you hit Barker Road, we do have a crash. It is off on the right shoulder, so that's something you want to be careful with. The rest of the system is looking pretty good. Really not seeing any other issues. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today, mostly sunny, a high of 39 degrees, increasing clouds with low of 30 degrees tonight. Right now, still in the upper teens. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, retaliatory strikes spreading across the Middle East in the wake of the U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran. Comes as a U.S. fighter pilot had a close call in Kuwait.
I'm Dil Gavlik in Amman, Jordan. A U.S. fighter jet has crashed in Kuwait during an Iranian missile attack on a U.S. airbase. Video footage shows a U.S. F-15E Strike Eagle spiraling downwards as flames engulf its engine 6 miles from the U.S. Ali al-Salam base, and the pilot ejected. It's unclear whether the jet was shot down by an Iranian missile, hit by friendly U.S. air defense rockets, or suffered a technical malfunction. Meanwhile, smoke was seen near the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait City, with reports of minor injuries after debris fell nearby.
Families with ties to Iran say communications become more difficult in the last couple of days. Ali Sultani is a spokesperson for the Iranian-American community of Wisconsin. He joined Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News.
Technology right now and the way communication is, it's like talking to your person next to you. You know, WhatsApp, Telegram, and Instagram, and all these applications. We talk all the time. Unfortunately, the last couple of days, obviously, the internet has been cut off, so I haven't been able to contact them. But the situation in Iran is very dire.
Following the death of the supreme leader in Iran over the weekend, Sultani tells WTMJ he is optimistic for the future of the country.
Milwaukee police this morning investigating a double shooting that happened early at Mount Sinai Hospital. Officers said they responded just after 2 in the morning. Took a 37-year-old man into custody. 40-year-old victim was seriously hurt in the shooting. The second, a 38-year-old, is expected to survive.
2 people and a dog dead following a house fire in Brookfield.
Fire crews responded to Brookdale Drive early Saturday morning, where 2 people and a dog were trapped inside the home. 1 person and the dog died at the scene, and the second person later died at the hospital. Our news partners at TMJ4 say family has identified the victims as 66-year-old Thomas Wall, 26-year-old Dylan Wall, and their dog Django. 3 police officers were taken to the hospital with injuries. Brookfield Fire and Police Departments are still investigating the cause of the fire. They do not believe it is suspicious. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Teenager from Milwaukee in custody after vehicle break-ins and 2 early morning police chases in New Berlin.
According to the New Berlin Police Department, officers responded around 4:20 a.m. Saturday near Greenfield Avenue and Coach Light Drive for reports of vehicles being entered. When officers tried to stop a car leaving the area, the driver fled east on Greenfield Avenue before stopping after hitting tire deflation devices. As officers made the arrest, a second group of suspects fled in another vehicle, leading to a pursuit on I-94 that was later called off. No injuries were reported. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
The Supreme Court will hear arguments today in a major Second Amendment case challenging a federal law that bars unlawful drug users from possessing firearms. CBS legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
In this particular case, the court is applying the framework that it created in a recent case called Bruin. In that Bruin case, the court created a new standard for when we can uphold restrictions under the Second Amendment. Specifically, under the Bruin case, restrictions on gun ownership or possession must be consistent with the Second Amendment's text and historical understanding.
The case tests how far gun rights extend under the court's 2022 decision expanding the right to carry.
First Lady Melania Trump will preside over a UN Security Council meeting this afternoon.
The UN says it will be a first. The U.S. takes over the rotating presidency of the 15-member council for the month of March, and the First Lady's office says the meeting she will preside over will emphasize education's role in advancing tolerance and world peace. The country holding the council presidency for the month gets to choose the subject for some of the signature meetings.
CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick there.
Coming up, another round of awards before the big Oscars.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
Get new Pella windows and doors with 0% interest until 2032. PellaWI.com. Wisconsin homes ask a lot of their windows and doors. With our unpredictable weather, they need to perform in every season, year after year. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build everything around quality, durability, and long-term comfort. And right now, we're making long-term comfort easier than ever. Order today and get 0% interest until 2032. Not just a few years, 0% interest all the way until 2032. That means you can upgrade your home now and pay over time without paying a dime in interest. From your free in-home consultation to expert installation, Pella's local team is with you every step of the way, helping you choose the right products for your home, your style, and your budget. And with our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident long after installation day. 0% interest until 2032. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2026.
In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus is led by the Spirit into the desert to prepare for his ministry. This Lent, how will we allow ourselves to be led? How will we use these weeks to let God transform our hearts and our lives? This is Archbishop Jeffrey Graub. When Easter arrives, may we find ourselves renewed, strengthened, and changed. God always takes the first step. This Lent, how will we respond? Join us at Mass, and let's walk this journey together.
2026 Brewers tickets are on sale now. This year, it all kicks off at our house with opening day at home, followed up with a schedule that's absolutely loaded. Throw in the same flair for the dramatic thrills on any given night. Plus Brewers giveaways you won't forget. And you've got a season you're going to have to see to believe. Don't miss a second of Brewers action this year. The crew is back for more. All Brewers tickets for the 2026 season are on sale now at Brewers.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
At Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Find out how much you can save at ACCUNET.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
Coming up in sports.
That is not how you play basketball.
And we'll leave it at that for now.
The debate continues over a possible new hotel in downtown Milwaukee near the Baird Center. Some tourism leaders say expanding hotel capacity is important as the convention center grows, while others have pushed back on replacing the Miller High Life Theater. Milwaukee Business Journal's Timothy Gibbons.
Everybody got all freaked out over the idea of the theater being torn down and the hotel being built there, and that's just one option being looked at. And people should not fixate on that one. The reason people maybe have fixated on it is because a rendering of a hotel where the theater was the cover of their consultant's report, and it was ranked as the highest space.
Given says a final decision on the project is expected in the coming months.
A wild scene in East Texas over the weekend as a hot air balloon crashed into a communications tower. 2 people in the balloon were stuck more than 900 feet up in the air.
The people are actually coming down right now, and it's pretty wild. I'm assuming they have harnesses and stuff. I sure hope so. This is one of the craziest things.
Firefighters there performing a complicated rescue took about 4 hours.
They used to be called the SAG Awards. Now it's the Actor Awards that came out Sunday.
I'm indeed a lucky guy.
An emotional Harrison Ford accepting the Life Achievement Award at the Actor Awards on a night that also saw a moving speech from Michael B. Jordan.
This ride has been unbelievable.
Walking off with the award for Best Male Actor in a leading role for... The period horror film also getting Best Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture.
They will win.
And Jessie Buckley, the winner for lead actress as William Shakespeare's embattled wife in Hamnet. Matt Wolf, CBS News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:09.
Oh, boy, it's getting so expensive to dine out, but not at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Chef is family-owned, understands inflation hurts. Every Monday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza absolutely free. Any size, any quantity. You buy one, get one free. Buy 2, get 2 free. Buy 10 pizzas, get 10 free pizzas. Business owners, managers, bring in pizza for your hardworking employees and your key clients. They're going to love it because it's delicious pizza, and your second pizza's free, saving your company a ton of money. Bring your family in today for free pizza. Your kids will love that world-class game room. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and near EAA and Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Lots of seating, lots of close parking. No need to cook. Don't think about cleaning today. Mondays can be tough enough. Buy one pizza, get one free at the Mine Shaft. Plenty to take home for tomorrow. Desserts, and I love their desserts, are also buy one, get one free. Just walk in today for your free Monday pizza. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
Staples has hot deals and low prices on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Time saver traffic at 6:10. What do you see, Debbie?
Well, we got a crash that is blocking the right lane on westbound 94 just before Highway 18, or just before Barker Road to be technical. So just be extra careful heading through there. Yes, we are seeing delays heading through there since everybody's kind of shifting over because that right lane is closed. Other than that, we're really looking at a pretty good ride shaping up around the area. Not seeing too many other issues. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
From TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson with your Storm Team forecast. Mostly sunny for our Monday as temperatures climb into the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. Southeasterly winds off of Lake Michigan will keep lakefront communities, but on the cooler side, lower 40s farther inland. Increasing cloud cover tonight, though, as temperatures fall to around 30 degrees. We'll welcome in the chance of a bit of a wintry mix, light rain on our Tuesday. Some drizzle mixing in as well. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, highs in the low 40s.
Milwaukee now at 26.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
6:12 on a Monday morning. Why are we essentially at war with Iran? I say essentially, as Congress has made no such declaration to this point.
They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions. Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles.
President Trump, in one of 2 recorded messages publicized over the weekend as we learned of U.S. casualties, now 3 service members killed in an Iranian airstrike in Kuwait.
We grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. And sadly, there will likely be more.
Also just heard at the top of the hour, an F-15 was downed, uncertain whether it was shot down or there was some sort of technical problem with that. And the current state of the pilot still unknown this morning. More on what the U.S. and our fighting forces should prepare for in a moment. First, counterattacks continuing this morning, our time overnight. Strikes coming from Iran. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Qatar.
Here in Qatar, we got the new emergency alerts that went out to cell phones this morning, and we've heard more loud booms here in Doha. Meanwhile, overnight, President Trump says the new potential leaders of Iran have indicated that they want to talk. We saw the Interim Leadership Council meeting this weekend, but Trump did not elaborate on plans for any future U.S. negotiations.
Future negotiations with who exactly?
Who are these leaders?
Fair question, as the Iranians confirmed the supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. So there is that open question this morning of who actually is in charge. Demonstrations in Iran.
Across Iran, celebrations large and small. But in Tehran's main square, a likely organized demonstration of support for the regime, including chants of death to America. President Trump told the New York Times he has, quote, 3 very good choices for who could lead Iran, but he says he won't reveal them now.
That's ABC's Allison Cossack. Now, you heard the president suggest there could be more U.S. casualties as the campaign against Iran may persist for weeks. ABC News chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl.
We don't know where that is going. I thought it was interesting to hear the president preparing the American people for the idea that there could be more casualties. We've already 3 deaths. We've had American service members injured. There could be more. He prepared America for that. He's not pretending that it's going to be pain-free. He suggested in an interview with the Daily Mail yesterday that this might be about 4 weeks long.
As for the homeland, suggestions that perhaps a mass shooting over the weekend in Texas could be tied to a terrorist act, an act of retaliation against the U.S. for these strikes in Iran. Also, Eric, we have the price of oil that is expected to skyrocket, and the futures on the market's not looking good.
Oil prices around $80 per barrel right now. That's a surge. And futures right now, everything down more than 1%, a little bit more than 2 hours from the bell.
Members of Congress promised a briefing tomorrow from the Department of War. We anticipate Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Air Force General Dan Kane, they are promising a news conference this morning, 7 a.m., our time in Washington. 6:15 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Tax season is here, and smart planning starts now. Let's set you up for success with today's tax tip from our trusted friends at the Neal Group.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group, with today's tax tip. Make sure you report all your income when filing your return. By law, you need to report all income you receive, even if you didn't get a W-2 or 1099. This includes any side gigs you may have done in 2025. The IRS matches your return with what others say they paid you. Don't get a notice saying you didn't report income and they are charging you penalties and interest. You earned it. We help you keep it. For more tips or if you have questions, visit nealgroup.net or call 414-325-2040. That's NEAL group.net.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Something real quick, just some factoids about the Chicago Bulls, who the Milwaukee Bucks played on Sunday in Chicago. The Bulls hadn't won in the month of February. Didn't win in the month of February. Had an 11-game losing streak, and were down to the Bucks by 16 points. Yet somehow they boat rolled the Bucks. A 27-0 run, third and fourth quarters, would put the game away for the Chicago Bulls. That is how you blow apart a game. How in the world does that happen?
When you approach the game and play like that, you don't deserve to win. If we had won the game, I'd have been upset. I'd have taken the win because we need it. But that is not how you play basketball.
That's hard to do.
Everyone keeps saying they dribbled too much, like dribbled the air out of the ball. Cam Thomas, all they did was dribble around. They lose 120-97. Thankfully, they got the Celtics tonight, so they don't have to sit and think about that game too long.
Brewers' next spring training game is not until Wednesday, but 9 guys who are in big league camp with the Brewers are headed to the World Baseball Classic to compete for their countries, including Brewers catcher William Contreras.
Feeling great. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to be in that team. It's not easy to be one of the best players in the country. That's what I feel. But I really appreciate to my family, to Brewers, to give me the opportunity to be there. And like I said, I'm going to be my best.
Contreras, Jackson Chourio, and newly acquired pitcher Angel Zerpa will play for their native Venezuela. The event begins with some sort of pool play like midweek, Most teams will be in action by Friday. 20 nations competing. Infielder Bryce Terang playing for Team USA. Brewers play the Cubs next in spring training on Wednesday.
It's tournament time. Yes, it's March. That means we get to talk basketball. This is when it gets fun. First round of the Horizon League tournament for your Milwaukee Panthers Wednesday. So they'll play Detroit Mercy. That's in Detroit. Now, if they win that game and move on and advance, then the rest of the games are in Indy. So let's go. Let's see what we can do. Panthers could be a little bit of a dangerous team. They're starting to come together now, a little bit different than what they started with. So who knows? Also, Badger women playing the Big Ten tournament. That starts Wednesday. They're the 15th seed. They go up against the 10th seeded Illini again on Wednesday. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. That's siding and a whole lot more.
That is not how you play basketball.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law offices.
The WTMJ team is going bowling this weekend, and we want you to join us. Come on down and bowl with us. Bowling for Babies, Saturday, March 7th. So we're at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls. Get to raise funds for the Milwaukee Diaper Mission, and there's still time for you to join. Get yourself a team of 4 and hit the lanes with us. A bunch of WTMJ and ESPN Milwaukee talent will be there as well. So here's what you do. Text the word BABY to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620 to sign up. Bowling for Babies. Let's bowl Saturday.
Outdoor Living Unlimited has become Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer by building decks the right way and the safe way. Imagine a design for your backyard that includes an amazing new deck, railing, and stairs. Want to add other features? Outdoor Living Unlimited can do that too. Free estimates and ideas. Start the process by going to outdoorlivingunlimited.com today.
Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Merkier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@WTMJ.com for more information. john@WTMJ.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Rejuvenix Arthritis Pain Clinics. Go to rejuvenix.com for an appointment.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Time saver traffic at 6:21. Debbie.
All right. Well, we do have a crash westbound on 94 just before you get to Barker Road. It is blocking, well, it was blocking the right lane. Looks like they were able to move it off to the right shoulder. So watch for some minimal slowing right in that neck of the woods. We also have some delays on westbound 94 coming out of the stadium interchange towards Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Sunny, a high of 39 today. Tonight, more clouds, a low of 30. Then the rest of the week, 40s. Tuesday, 41. Wednesday, 44. Thursday, 46. Friday, the high is 58. 6:22 right now. We are continuing to follow all the developments out of Iran and the Middle East. We're going to have a live report here coming up in less than 20 minutes. We'll do that around 6:40 this morning.
Do you know how much a parking ticket is in the city of Milwaukee?
I don't know, $50.
Actually, you're close. You're closer than I thought. Is this an example of me? I don't know how much things cost now.
Well, maybe.
My wife tells me all the time, I'm like, well, we're going to do this work on the house. I'm like, yeah, it'd be about $1,000. She's like, really? Like $5,000. You don't know how much things cost. Well, I apparently don't know how much it covers. I know now. So I got a ticket.
Okay.
We went to see a show at Next Act Theater. It's called Swing State.
Okay.
I thought it was about politics, but it wasn't. It's set here in Wisconsin, and it was a brilliant show. Just loved it. I like straight theater, so it's all dialogue.
Yeah.
Whatever, but great show. That's not really the reason for the story. If you know where Next Act is, what else is down there? The Cooperage, that event space?
Yeah, that's a big spot.
So this is like 3rd Ward, edge of 5th Ward.
Yep.
And when you're on South Water Street in this stretch, you feel like no matter where you are, you're not really supposed to be there. It's a lot of industrial and old space.
Sure, right, yeah.
Is this even a road?
Can I park here?
So there's abundant street parking up and down, and I'm looking for a spot, and there's a good, no, fire hydrant. Okay, no, don't park there. Okay, good, right around. I find this spot, perfect. Look, I'm always very careful. I don't want to abscond.
Right.
Get a parking ticket.
I know you. Yeah.
There's no apparent reason that you couldn't park here.
Mm-hmm.
I came out, I got a parking ticket. It's on the door, and they put the little tape on now. And I already have my phone out, E. You know me. I'm like, I'm taking pictures of this. I'll go to court if I have
to. Because you've done that and been successful.
Yes. I shouldn't have gotten. I look up. I parked directly under a no parking sign. Directly under.
Now, how did that happen?
I don't know.
Because don't you ever think about that? Like, right, whenever you park in a space you don't know very well, aren't you always like checking looking anywhere for a sign, looking for a hydrant, looking for anything?
I feel like I must have. The ticket was $40.
Oh, okay.
$40.
Yeah.
I guess because the city of Milwaukee projects it will make somewhere between $14 and $17 million this year alone in parking tickets. I guess that's how they get there.
Yeah. Well, having gotten them before, I know and then if you don't pay it, it'll go up, right?
I will pay it. I will not challenge it because I parked right under the sign. There was no apparent reason that you couldn't park there other than there was a sign there. Take my medicine. Tangentially related, while I talk about having seen a show, this is a big deal. As you so generously shared the other day here on Wisconsin's Morning News E, I've been tapped to co-chair this year's United Performing Arts Fund annual campaign. The goal is to raise $9.5 million for the performing arts. This year, that money will be distributed to local theater companies, big and small, so they can do first-class work that stands up to any cultural center in the world. If you need reassurance that this model is working and that we do have world-class theater and dance and symphony and opera and ballet and all of those things here in Milwaukee, look no further than what is happening here this week. Milwaukee Repertory Theater is hosting art critics and theater groups from around the country in a summit. I've called it a summit. I don't think they called it that.
Okay.
This is my information. It's called From Crisis to Catalyst, Transforming the Regional Theater Landscape. It's 3 days. They begin Wednesday here in Milwaukee, and among those attending are some of the biggest names in regional theater anywhere, including but not limited to Berkeley Repertory Theater, Chicago Shakespeare, Denver Center Theater Company, Florida Studio Theater, Guthrie Theater, Twin Cities, Lincoln Center Theater, New York, Center Theater Group, Los Angeles, Steppenwolf, Chicago, Markets 1, 2, 3, the biggest cultural centers in America. They are coming here to collaborate and learn, and they're here because we're doing it right. Announced this morning, 3-day gathering brings together 63 artistic and executive directors representing 43 theaters, organizations for dialogue, reflection, exploration of new models for collaboration, sustainability, and artistic purpose. Participants will engage in discussions, performances, and collaborative sessions examining an evolving landscape of American theater, including audience engagement, new work, development, organizational sustainability.
So it's important to know what's working so well here in Milwaukee, essentially.
And I don't think Milwaukee is entirely at the center of every one of these conversations, but it's leading the conversation.
Sure, yeah.
And there's a reason they're coming here, because not without our battles, heavy lift for UPAF every year to raise somewhere in the neighborhood of $10 million. For Milwaukee Rep to have spent $70+ million rebuilding the Associated Bank Theater Center, Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra having rebuilt the Bradley Symphony Center, Milwaukee Ballet has a beautiful newer facility in the 3rd Ward, Skylight and Broadway Theater Center, First Stage, the Milwaukee Youth Arts Center, Next Act and Renaissance Theater Works. They have their own space and a beautiful theater there. We're hitting, you always use the term, but we're way above our weight class.
Right.
When it comes to the performing arts in little old Milwaukee here. And this summit this week, this is why it's working here in Milwaukee. And I know a number of these acclaimed groups from across the country. They'll share what's working for them as well, but they're also here because some things may not be working like they are here in Milwaukee. Swing State, by the way, the play that runs through this weekend at Next Act. If you want to see a great show, just watch where you park. Pay attention.
You
to the
said
signs.
swing state, but then you said it's not.
It's not about politics. There are some political overtones and things like that, but it's really more of a mystery and a relationship between a young troubled man and an older woman who's trying to save prairie land. It's set here in Wisconsin, so it's kind of interesting that way. News about your money this morning, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. So as Erik indicated, the future's all running down this morning, and we left things at 48,978 for the Dow, the NASDAQ at 22,668, and the S&P 500 was at 6879. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company. James' client, Amy Simonson, IT administrator with Professional Services Group.
We have several locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin. Having them all under one company has been very helpful.
Big or small, one location or several, James Imaging Systems is your one-stop business technology resource.
And they are on top of everything. When we have a problem, it's answered right away.
James Imaging Systems, IT-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation, and unrivaled local service and support.
And they're always looking for what else can we do? What else do you need? So they want our company to succeed as well as their own.
Let James Imaging Systems help your business succeed. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
This is former Wisconsin Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen with a message for my fellow conservatives about online sports betting. Online sports betting is fun. It protects kids against illegal gambling websites, and it generates billions in tax revenue. But today, Madison politicians are considering a secret deal that could give exclusive control of sports betting to one Indian tribe. One Indian tribe making the majority of all the revenue? Our Constitution requires a vote of the people on expanded sports betting, but Madison insiders want secrecy. What's worse, their plan could leave Governor Evers the sole power to negotiate with the tribes. Madison politicians want to bypass our state constitution, and it could mean less accountability with control concentrated with one Indian tribe. Tell Madison, no secret deal on online sports betting. Paid for by Sports Betting Alliance.
Around the world.
United States and Israel continue pounding sites in Iran. Iran fires back, striking numerous targets in the Middle East, including a U.S. military base in Kuwait. 3 U.S. service members killed. Lebanon also involved, says ABC's James Longman in the region.
There is a very real possibility that this becomes something much bigger than President Trump can control. Already, Israel says it's striking targets in Lebanon, claiming Hezbollah has fired on them. This is existential for so many groups in this region.
Hezbollah strongly aligned with Iran. Qatar Energy saying today will stop its production of liquefied natural gas as the Middle East war rages on, taking one of the world's top suppliers off the market. 2 drones were intercepted over Saudi Arabia's largest oil refinery today. The price of oil spiking overnight, and Dow futures have been sliding all night long as traders worry about the cost of oil and uncertainty in the Middle East. This is ABC News.
Well, we've got this accident on westbound 94 in Waukesha County. It's just before you get to Barker Road, and it's off on the right shoulder. Still, we're seeing some delays stretching back towards Brookfield Road. On westbound 94, got some backups as well, right through the Stadium interchange west of 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Other than that, we're looking pretty good across the rest of the system. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, high of 39 degrees today. Skies mostly sunny, a low of 30 overnight, right now at 26. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, protesters in Milwaukee over the weekend.
Like many of you, I woke up this morning to see the picture of the bloody backpacks that were found outside of the school that the U.S. and Israel bombed. Hands up!
Iran!
Hands up!
Iran!
It was dozens of protesters at Zeidler Union Square rallying against the U.S. and Israeli military strikes in Iran. Groups like the Milwaukee Anti-War Committee called the attacks an effort to destabilize the region.
A double shooting near the hospital. Milwaukee police investigating this shooting that happened early this morning at Mount Sinai Hospital. Officers responding early this morning took a man into custody. A 40-year-old victim seriously injured in that shooting, and another victim expected to survive.
Wisconsin's Public Service Commission ordered Alliant Energy to resubmit documents about a data center after its first submission allegedly hid details.
The redactions were not going to be allow us to do sort of the basic functions of open government.
Alliant Energy has since filed a revised application for custom electric rates for the Meta Data Center campus in Beaver Dam. It's a win for consumer advocates like Clean Wisconsin, who say the original proposal had too many loopholes.
This contract puts too much risk on Alliant Energy's other customers, which are Wisconsin families and small businesses, and it prevents the PSC from being able to impose conditions that protect our environment.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
It's going to be a busy week on the interstate, I-94. Multiple overnight closures tied to bridge demolition and pavement repairs.
As crews continue the bridge removal on the east leg of I-94, the DOT's Erik says
the concrete deck over the freeway is completely removed, and over the next few nights we're working to remove those steel girders that remain out there.
More work continues later in the week.
We do have a lot of repair work that we're going to do to maintain that existing freeway, and that'll happen Thursday and Friday night.
All closures are scheduled for overnight before reopening for the morning commute. Debbie Laziga, WTMJ News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:34 coming up. This is the best day, not today, but we're going to tell you the best day to book that flight.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Doing banking differently since 1896. Greg Matzik here for Horicon Bank. Think about that for a second. Over 100 years of focus on the community and your business. At Horicon Bank, financing requests can be approved in days, not weeks, because your banker understands you and your business. And yes, Horicon Bank is expanding, but they've not lost that community-minded feel. I trust Horicon Bank. I've connected with Horicon Bank, and I invite you to do the same. It's Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice, member FDIC.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news, a rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS caused by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $152,000 in taxes because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a clear plan and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it, we help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait, call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
This Milwaukee brewer says leaving camp for the World Baseball Classic should actually help him in the regular season. Sports at 6:45.
Okay, according to this study, it's uncovered the new best day to book a flight.
There have been plenty of myths about the best day to book an airline flight, but a new study from Expedia suggests to quit thinking Tuesday and Wednesday.
Booking and flying on a Friday can save you up to 8%. It doesn't mean your particular flight, but it's a good rule of thumb.
Expedia's Melanie Fish says the theory is
there's not as much business demand on a Friday, and those weekend travelers are spreading out their trips, so Fridays is offering more value.
Stephen Kaufman, CBS News.
So book on a Friday.
You wouldn't think flying on a Friday is economical. Isn't that when everybody's getting away?
Usually, unless they're, well,
Yeah. More studies are needed? Is that one of those? Like, coffee's good for you. Coffee's not good for you.
In moderation, of course.
6:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Get an update on where we stand with Iran and the situation in the Middle East here in a moment. But first, hi, Debbie.
Hey there. Looks like they cleared the accident on westbound 94 just before Barker Road, though we do still have delays stretching almost all the way back to Calhoun, so something to keep in mind there. Also seeing backups from 35th Street all the way to Hawley Road. On the eastbound side, delays just before 76th Street, and those stretch all the way to Hawley Road as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
From TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson with your Storm Team forecast. Mostly sunny for our Monday as temperatures climb into the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. Southeasterly winds off of Lake Michigan will keep lakefront communities, but on the cooler side, lower 40s farther inland. Increasing cloud cover tonight, though, as temperatures fall to around 30 degrees. We'll welcome in the chance of a bit of a wintry mix, light rain on our Tuesday. Some drizzle mixing in as well. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, highs in the low 40s.
Milwaukee at 26. The U.S. this morning continues airstrikes in Iran, with President Trump suggesting the military operation could last weeks.
They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions. Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles.
The president in that recorded statement over the weekend.
Happening today.
Department of War suggesting a news conference this morning, 7 o'clock our time, featuring Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Air Force General Dan Kane. Bringing in ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers from Washington this morning. Karen, we've heard twice from the president in these recorded messages over the weekend. Do we expect him to be live anytime today or in the near future?
He is giving out medals of honor today at an event at the White House, but that is unlikely to be a chance where reporters are going to be able to ask him questions about these strikes, about what's going to happen in the coming days, and about the overall intent behind this operation. As you mentioned, we will hear from the Defense Secretary and the Chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff coming up in about 20 minutes or so, and that's the Pentagon side of things. But there's still a lot of big questions for the president, of course, for the administration. And, he has talked to some reporters over the weekend, people who were able to catch him on the phone, but otherwise did not talk to reporters in Florida or when he came back to the White House. Just to give you an update, in the last couple of minutes, U.S. Central Command gave an update that one of the service members who had been severely injured in that Iranian attack in Kuwait over the weekend has now died. So that brings the casualties to 4 U.S. service members. The president yesterday, in one of those social media videos, had acknowledged the deaths of service members and said this warning, sadly, there will likely be more. That's the way it is. John Carl, my colleague, spoke to him yesterday evening and asked him about that statement, and he told John, it's war. You have casualties in war.
Karen, we've heard that there's going to be the possibility to talk to Iran's new leadership or negotiations. Who would that be? Do we know who the leadership is?
Yeah, and that's a very big question. The president hasn't clearly explained what is going to come next in Iran. He has kind of suggested multiple options that the remaining leadership could stay in place. There could be a new leader coming to power. Before the attacks, he told John Carl last night that before the attacks, they had identified possible leaders of what things, who could lead after the Ayatollah. But he told John, they're all gone. He said that the attack was so successful, it knocked out most of the candidates. Those are his words. And he said, it's not going to be anybody we were thinking because they're all dead. Now, the president in videos has urged the Iranian people to, uprise against the government, saying, be brave, be bold, be heroic, take back your government. America is with you, he said.
Karen Travers live with us from the White House. I know you got a hard deadline here, Karen. Just quickly, do we know in terms of the president and how he will address this issue with Congress? We will have something to say about it this week.
That is not clear. There is no authorization from Congress on this, even though the president said that these strikes could last 4 to 5 weeks. We know that the Congress, the House, is likely to take up a vote on Thursday on a resolution restraining the president's power for war. Democrats and a handful of Republicans have demanded a vote on this, which would require congressional approval before the president orders any further military action in Iran.
Appreciate the live update this morning, Karen.
Thank you.
You mentioned the Pete Hegseth news conference from the Pentagon. We do intend on dipping into that news conference live. If it were to start, they're scheduling it for 7 We'll see if that happens. But if it does, we'll definitely jump into that.
And sports up next here on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week, we talk a great event. Open Season Sportsman's Expo coming up in the Dells. We talked about ATVs, UTVs, and snowmobiling. Big thing in Wisconsin. We wrapped it up with a great conversation about maple syrup production in this great state of Wisconsin.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
I want to talk about your shoes for a moment. Vince Vitrano here for my friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Got a fascinating update from Inspired Closets on all the things they can do just with your shoes. So if you're the type that you just love looking at your shoes, even when you're not wearing them, sounds like you're a good candidate for the Shoe Shrine or a boutique display with integrated lighting. Or if you just want your shoes or your kids' shoes out of the front hall and better organized, might be looking at the slanted shelving or vertical storage options. You're not going to go wrong either way, and the experts at Inspired Closets will know how to direct you because they start by listening to you. What's going on in your home? What are your needs? Book a no-obligation appointment now or stop out at the showroom right near Gerke's Corners in Waukesha. Tell them Vinny sent you. Inspired Days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
You could call it a boat race, but a bulldozing seems like a more fit term.
Snow plowed.
My gosh, the Milwaukee Bucks, who are up 16 points a couple of times over the Bulls, who haven't won a game or didn't win a game in February. The Bulls on an 11-game losing streak somehow go on a 27-0 run to beat the Milwaukee Bucks in Chicago on Sunday. So now you're starting to run out of time, Bobby. Got to get moving now.
23 games left in the season, and it's getting tight for us. So got to get on the heater here soon.
Yep, got to start that immediately. So you lose by 20 to the Bulls. Up next, the Celtics tonight, right here on WTMJ Radio.
World Baseball Classic featuring teams from 20 nations begins this week. We got 9 guys from the Brewers Big League camp competing, some minor leaguers as well. Infielder Bryce Terang for Team USA. Shortstop Joey Ortiz is competing for Mexico. And aside from pride of playing for country, Ortiz sees it has an opportunity to sharpen his skills for the upcoming MLB season.
Just going to get me in more full like game situations. Not that spring doesn't do that, but it can be not as similar to like season games. But I think these WBC games will be more like playoff, type atmosphere. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Brewers' next spring training game is not until Wednesday. We play the Cubs in a 2:10 first pitch.
It's March. You know what that means. It's tournament time for college basketball. Horizon League tournament underway this week. So the Panthers will play Detroit Mercy on Wednesday. I think Coach Lundy said that he believes his team could be dangerous because of just where they are, how they've heated up, and hey, no one wants to play that scrappy, dangerous team. So who knows? Maybe something happens. That game is on Wednesday. Badger women play in the Big Ten tournament on Wednesday as well. They're the 15th seed. They go up against the 10th seeded Illini. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
Stop in for savings this week at Fleet Farm that'll help put winter in your rear view. Get a free $25 gift card with the purchase of $100 in Columbia, Dickies, Under Armour, or Wrangler clothing. Fire up the flavor with Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets for just $8.99 a bag. And buy 3, get 1 free on Cooper or Goodyear tires with our complete installation package and Resolute Road Hazard policy. Don't miss these limited time deals, only at Fleet Farm. And for even more, go to fleetfarm.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Annex Wealth Management as tax filing season is underway. Great time to take a closer look at your financial picture and see if things can be optimized for you or your business. Having a clear, focused tax strategy matters more than ever. Annex Wealth Management offers personalized guidance to help you make confident decisions as life changes come your way. The team at Annex takes a close look at your full financial picture, no matter how complex or diverse your portfolio may be. Their expert planners build a strategy that's designed for you, putting your best interest first and never under any pressure of sales pitches. This time of year can get overwhelming, right? It doesn't have to. See how Annex can help your portfolio during tax filing season with a financial plan that is built around your goals. Annex works with what you got. And don't worry, they've seen it all, including the classic mishmash of investments you've collected over the years. The Annex Financial Planning Team reviews and analyzes your current situation, comes back with a plan using fiduciary principles. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
Every Monday and Thursday, buy one pizza, get a second pizza absolutely free at the Mineshaft Family Restaurant in downtown Hartford. Google the Mineshaft today.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Time saver traffic. Debbie, what do you see on the roads?
We got backups westbound 94 from just west of 27th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard, and then a few more backups from about Moreland Road to Calhoun, and a little bit more past Brookfield Road. Eastbound, we got delays from just before 84th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Rest of the system looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Heads up, we will go live to the Pentagon. We're expecting that at 7 o'clock. We'll let you know if that news conference still gets underway, but we'll go live 10 minutes from now. Right now, sunny, a high of 39. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 30. The rest of the week in the 40s. Friday, in the 50s. Right now, 6:51.
The Kid, 23 years old now. He brought Brewers fans and this community so much joy throughout the summer, outshined some of his veteran counterparts in the postseason. Jacob Mizorowski, the fireballing pitcher who now carries a bit more weight on his shoulders coming into this next season. He enters his second season of big league ball. WTMJ's Julia Fellow has gotten to know the Miz a little bit due to actually an unfortunate connection in their lives. And Julia shares the Miz, his great inspiration remains his father.
Strike one, and off we go. 100-mile-an-hour fastball to start the career for the Miz.
Standing at 6'7", 197 pounds, and babyface, Jacob Mizorowski arrived in Milwaukee with a bang last summer, and he hasn't slowed down since.
Runs all the way to the bag and then flexes at the crowd. The Miz.
The 23-year-old rookie quickly became one of Major League Baseball's most electrifying young arms.
5 scoreless and no-hit innings from the Brewers right-hander in his big league debut.
Giving play-by-play broadcasters plenty to talk about.
0-2 pitch. Struck him out with a changeup. That was filthy. Swing and a miss. Pages is gone. 1-0-1 on the fastball from Mizorowski.
The rookie quickly captured national attention with his incredible 104-mile-an-hour fastball.
The 0-1 to Tucker. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 104. Goodness.
How does he do it? It's hard for even him to explain.
I really don't know. I mean, I kind of just do it, I guess, is the right way to put it. And I think there's a lot of whip and a lot of torque that comes on the shoulder and stuff like that.
He's already feeling the heat, getting into the All-Star game after playing just 5 Major League games.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, I think, some of the guys have a something out for you, if you want to say that.
He says that moment lit a fire, carrying him through the playoff push.
Here in October, first pitch to Kyle Tucker in there with a strike on a fastball at 103.4. It is 0-1. I would say he's a little juiced up for postseason baseball.
Through it all, one person has been watching closely, his dad, Tom.
I usually tell him, how to step, how to drive.
There you go.
This fall, the two sat side by side for a special event raising money for the Wisconsin Parkinson Association. Tom was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in his 30s when Jacob was just a boy. The family first knew something was wrong during a simple everyday moment.
Well, my first symptoms was when I was brushing my teeth in the bathroom and my hands started shaking.
Parkinson's is a progressive neurodegenerative disease. Tremors can be an early sign, so can stiffness or slow movement. For Tom, the disease eventually forced him to step away from his job as an electrician.
I didn't really think about it, anything different, and I thought that's just the way it was. Everyone's dad was always at home all the time, going to practices and doing all that stuff.
But if Parkinson's took something away, it also brought father and son closer together.
And Jacob, the first memory with him, I remember he was holding my hand and I started shaking. He goes, "Don't worry, Dad, I got you."
Jacob says that love of family is what drives him every time he steps on the mound.
The most powerful thing was, realizing that I'm not doing it for me, I'm doing it for them. So.
As this young phenom, the Miz, continues to rise, he's proving his power is not just in his fastball, but in the heart behind it. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. 1-0-1. Just blew the heater right past Rodriguez out. And I think my favorite thing is to watch guys' faces after the first time they faced Mizorowski as they walk back to the dugout. And Julio Rodriguez had a little bit of a look of bewilderment, as if to say, did that just happen?
Really nice piece there by Julia, telling us a little bit more about this young man, what drives him, his relationship with his father, and the battles in their family. Also made me really excited for baseball.
Oh, my gosh, right?
I know that wasn't the point of the story, but
both things can be true.
How can you not also be excited for everything that is ahead for Miz and the Brewers? As we said, the Brewers don't play again until Wednesday because we've got a few guys headed out to the World Baseball Classic, which begins in earnest midweek, and then a lot more teams will be playing by Friday.
So heads up, we are anticipating to hear from the Pentagon at 7 a.m. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. This oftentimes there'll be something scheduled, but it could get pushed. But we would anticipate, hopefully, a news conference from the Pentagon at 7 o'clock. We do have breaking news that a 4th U.S. military member has died from the response to some of the attacks that are taking place in the Middle East. And we have the cameras up, and everything is showing the podium there in Washington. But as of now, nothing to suggest they'll get underway here at 7. But if they do, we'll definitely bring that to you.
So that's next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The parent company of Milwaukee Bucks broadcaster FanDuel Sports initiates a wind down by issuing layoff notices that all jobs will be eliminated once the regular season ends in April. The Bucks have yet to announce TV plans for next season. Menominee Falls manufacturer TJ Hale closed 1 month ago, and now 2 suppliers file lawsuits seeking nearly $200,000 in unpaid bills. One of those is Timber Creek Resources in Brookfield, which is owed nearly $31,000. Muskego-based Milk Can Hamburgers and Frozen Custard opens a location in downtown Milwaukee. The takeout eatery will be at Paper Table Food Hall on Milwaukee Street. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature
will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist,
the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, March 2nd. Breaking news, we are anticipating a live update from Secretary of War Pete Hegseth from the Pentagon in just moments. We will take you there live.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Shots fired at a downtown hospital.
I'm Debbie Lazago, westbound 94, backing up just before the stadium interchange past Hawley Road. Eastbound, little slow from about 84th Street all the way to Hawley Road as well. Rest of the system looks good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your Storm Team forecast for today. Skies mostly sunny and a high of 39 degrees. We'll see increasing clouds overnight. Our low dropping to 30. Milwaukee right now at 26. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Dan Kane, expected to offer a live briefing here anytime. We see the podiums are set, and we were given a 4 minutes out warning about 4 minutes ago for the beginning of that news conference. WTMJ will take that for you live when it begins. This, of course, as airstrikes continue overnight, and now 4 Americans confirmed dead in retaliatory strikes from Iran. In this ongoing military conflict, President Trump expressed condolences, warned more casualties are expected. ABC's Ian Pannell is in Tel Aviv.
The fire that began with a U.S.-Israeli strike on Iran Saturday now spreading throughout this region. Almost every country in the Middle East now dragged into a conflict that the president warns could last weeks, one that is now exacting a toll on U.S. forces.
Yes, Israel also training attacks with Iranian military-backed forces as the conflict enters now its third day. President Trump said the joint operation could last up to 4 weeks.
So is that possible? 4 weeks before a resolution. Questions remain about what comes next following these attacks. Marquette professor Enyaya Othman tells Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News.
Outside pressure or calls for regime change from outside powers usually does not bring democratic government. I mean, we experienced this in Iraq. We experienced this in other states that were pressured or they were triggered for regime changes.
And again, we are waiting for the start of a news conference from the War Department in the Pentagon, and that is supposed to start momentarily. When it does begin, we will take that live.
Meanwhile, we've got a breaking news story this morning as police investigating a double shooting that happened apparently inside Mount Sinai Hospital downtown. MPD reporting a 37-year-old man is in custody. 40-year-old victim was seriously injured in the shooting. The second victim, 38 years old, expected to survive.
2 people dead following a house fire in Brookfield.
Fire crews responded to Brookdale Drive early Saturday morning, where 2 people and a dog were trapped inside the home. 1 person and the dog died at the scene, and the second person later died at the hospital. Our news partners at TMJ4 say family has identified the victims as 66-year-old Thomas Wall, 26-year-old Dylan Wall, and their dog Django. 3 police officers were taken to the hospital with injuries. Brookfield Fire and Police Departments are still investigating the cause of the fire. They do not believe it is suspicious. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
17-year-old from Milwaukee in custody after vehicle break-ins and 2 early morning chases in New Berlin.
According to the New Berlin Police Department, officers responded around 4:20 a.m. Saturday near Greenfield Avenue and Coach Light Drive for reports of vehicles being entered. When officers tried to stop a car leaving the area, the driver fled east on Greenfield Avenue before stopping after hitting tire deflation devices. As officers made the arrest, a second group of suspects fled in another vehicle, leading to a pursuit on I-94 that was later called off. No injuries were reported. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we now go live to the Pentagon to get an update from the war in the Middle East and Iran. Pete Hegseth is speaking.
The expansionist and Islamist regime in Tehran has waged a savage, one-sided war against America. They didn't always declare it openly, except for their constant chants of death to America. They did it through the blood of our people. Car bombs in Beirut, rocket attacks on our ships, murders at our embassies, roadside bombs in Iraq and Afghanistan, funded and armed by Iranian Quds Force and IRGC killers. My generation of veterans carried the names of brothers who never came home. Brothers butchered by Iranian-backed roadside bombs and well-armed militias, thousands of our own. We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it. Their war on Americans has become our retribution against their Ayatollah and his death cult. It took the 47th president, a fighter who always puts America first, to finally draw the line after 47 years of Iranian belligerence. He reminded the world, as he has time and time again, being an American means something unbreakable. If you kill Americans, if you threaten Americans anywhere on earth, we will hunt you down without apology and without hesitation, and we will kill you. President Trump has also been very consistent. Crazy regimes like Iran, hell-bent on prophetic Islamist delusions, cannot have nuclear weapons. It's common sense. Many have said it, but it takes guts to actually enforce it, and our president has guts. Iran's stubborn and self-evident nuclear pursuits, their targeting of global shipping lanes, and their swelling arsenal of ballistic missiles and killer drones are no longer tolerable risks. Iran was building powerful missiles and drones to create a conventional shield for their nuclear blackmail ambitions. Let me say that again. A conventional shield for their nuclear blackmail ambitions. Our bases, our people, our allies, all in their crosshairs. Iran had a conventional gun to our head as they tried to lie their way to a nuclear bomb. It almost worked under Obama and his terrible deal, but not under this president. This is not a so-called regime change war. But the regime sure did change, and the world is better off for it. Today, in their desperation, the enemy is unmasked as Iranian missiles and drones rain down indiscriminately on the hotels, airports, apartments, and other civilian targets of their neighbors. Cowardly terrorist tactics from a regime that for decades has trafficked in cowardly terrorist tactics, lies, death, and destruction to this day. The Iranian leadership has built nothing except proxies and missiles and drones and deeply buried nuclear factories and facilities. Peaceful nuclear ambitions do not need to be buried underneath mountains. Last June, Operation Midnight Hammer obliterated their nuclear program to rubble. Afterward, we told them plainly, that's it, now make a deal. They arrogantly refused. We said, rebuild it, and we'll stop you again, this time far worse. Well, President Trump, Secretary Rubio, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, they bent over backwards for real diplomacy, offering pathway after pathway to peace. I watched it. I was there. They tried over and over and over again earnest attempts at peace. The former regime had every chance to make a peaceful and sensible deal. But Tehran was not negotiating. They were stalling, buying time to reload their missile stockpiles and restart their nuclear ambitions. Their goal, hold us hostage, threatening to strike our forces. Well, President Trump doesn't play those games. And as Secretary Rubio said after the Maduro raid, if you don't know, now you know. President Trump puts America and Americans first. He doesn't hesitate, and neither do our troops. The mission of Operation Epic Fury is laser-focused. Destroy Iranian offensive missiles, destroy Iranian missile production, destroy their navy and other security infrastructure, and they will never have nuclear weapons. We're hitting them surgically, overwhelmingly, and unapologetically. With every passing day, our capabilities get stronger and Iran's get weaker. We set the terms of this war from start to finish. Our ambitions are not utopian. They are realistic, scoped to our interests and the defense of our people and our allies. Speaking of people, we hope the Iranian people take advantage of this incredible opportunity. President Trump has been clear, now is your time. To Iranian security forces, choose wisely. President Trump has also been clear about your fate in either direction. To the media outlets and political left screaming endless wars, stop. This is not Iraq. This is not endless. I was there for both. Our generation knows better, and so does this president. He called the last 20 years of nation-building wars dumb, and he's right. This is the opposite. This operation is a clear, devastating, decisive mission. Destroy the missile threat, destroy the Navy, no nukes. Israel has clear missions as well, for which we are grateful. Capable partners, as we've said since the beginning, capable partners are good partners. Unlike so many of our traditional allies who wring their hands and clutch
You're
their
listening to
pearls.
News Radio 620 WTMJ, Wisconsin's morning news. We're in breaking news coverage of a news conference from the Pentagon. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth speaking on the continuing operations in Iran.
And precise air power campaign in history. B-2s, fighters, drones, missiles, and of course, classified effects. All on our terms, with maximum authorities. No stupid rules of engagement, no nation-building quagmire, no democracy-building exercise, no politically correct wars. We fight to win, and we don't waste time or lives. As the president warned, an effort of this scope will include casualties. War is hell, and always will be. A grateful nation honors the 4 Americans we have lost thus far and those injured. The absolute best of America. May we prosecute the remainder of this operation in a manner that honors them. No apologies, no hesitation, epic fury for them and the thousands of Americans before them, taken too soon by Iranian radicals. Before I turn it over to General Kane for the operational update, let me speak straight to you, the Joint Force our warriors on the front lines. This is your moment. This is the generational turning point America has waited for since 1979, and since the rudderless wars of hubris, my generation, our generation, endured. Don't listen to the noise. Just stay focused. Our commander-in-chief is steady at the wheel. We face a determined enemy, but you are better. But we must prove it every single day. History doesn't care if we're tired, if we're scared, or if the fight feels big. It demands warriors who rise anyway. Peace through strength, the warrior ethos, lethality, unity of purpose, those are not slogans. They're the beating heart of what it means to wear the uniform, that uniform. You think clearly under fire, you act decisively in chaos, you uphold the Constitution, and you uphold our country without hesitation. We are not defenders anymore. We are warriors, trained to kill the enemy and break their will. History is watching. Be the force you swore an oath to be: focused, disciplined, lethal, and unbreakable. We will finish this on America First conditions of President Trump's choosing. Nobody else's, as it should be. And know this above all, President Trump and I have your back, always. Through fire, through criticism, through fake news, through everything. We unleash you because you are the best, most powerful, most lethal fighting force the world has ever seen. May Almighty God watch over you and his providential arms of protection extend over you. Godspeed, warriors, and keep going. General Kane, over to you.
Thank you. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth with his first public remarks since the attacks on Iran. We are now about to hear from the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Air Force General Dan Kane.
The briefing will discuss the preparation, the planning, setting the force, the early operations, and how we're assessing the progress thus far. So let's get started. On Saturday, 28 February at 01:15 Eastern Standard Time, 9:45 a.m. local Tehran time, on the orders of the President of the United States, U.S. Central Command, under the command of United States Navy Admiral Brad Cooper, commenced Operation Epic Fury. As I said, I'm going to walk you through the initial phases of the operation. But first, I want to express my deep condolences and the condolences of the Joint Force to the Department of War personnel killed and wounded in actions thus far. As the Secretary said, they're heroes and represent the best of our nation has to offer. They're true examples of what selfless service means. Our deepest and heartfelt condolences are with their families, their friends, and their units. We grieve with you, and we will never forget you. Additionally, I stand here before you today grateful for each service member, planner, logistician, operator across our joint force, for our Department of War civilians, our intelligence community teammates, our interagency teammates who continue to stand in harm's way alongside us. I am proud of all of you as you take the fight to the enemy, and we are the best in the world at integrating, period. I want to extend my personal gratitude to the dedicated commanders and senior enlisted leaders and the enlisted members of the Joint Force who are fighting this fight across the CENTCOM AOR. In addition to Admiral Cooper and Fleet Master Chief Compton, I want to highlight a few today. U.S. Army Central Command Commander Lieutenant General Pat Frank, who, along with his team, are fighting the counter-missile and counter-drone fight.
This is Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Air Force General Dan Kane, who is now speaking about the ongoing military operations in Iran. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Wisconsin's Morning News. We're going to stick with General Kane here, as he is expected in short order, to get into some of the logistics and actual targets of the U.S. military and ultimate goals as we move forward in this time.
I want to highlight the support to the CENTCOM fight from other combatant commands who are directly involved with this effort, to include U.S. Spacecom, U.S. Cybercom, and U.S. UCOM. I also want to specifically call out United States Transportation Command and U.S. STRATCOM for their contributions to this fight. We cannot project American combat power at the time and place of our choosing without both. And finally, I want to express how deeply thankful I am for the continued service and sacrifice of the entire Joint Force and their families. Their unwavering commitment and dedication are the cornerstones of this effort. So let me start with a few details. First, to be clear, as the Secretary said, this is not a single overnight operation. The military objectives that CENTCOM and the Joint Force have been tasked with will take some time to achieve, and in some cases will be difficult and gritty work. We expect to take additional losses, and as always, we will work to minimize U.S. losses. But as the Secretary said, this is major combat operations. So let me talk about the preparation and the planning. On February 28th, the full strength of America's armed forces came together in a unified purpose against a capable and determined adversary. The United States Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard, and our reserve components integrated across our combatant commands and began coordinated operations with the Israeli armed forces of an unprecedented scale. As the Secretary laid out, our military objectives are clear. Our mission is to protect and defend ourselves and, together with our regional partners, prevent Iran from the ability to project power outside of its borders and be ready for follow-on actions as appropriate. Across every domain, land, air, sea, cyber, the U.S. Joint Force delivered synchronized and layered effects designed to disrupt, degrade, deny, and destroy Iran's ability to conduct and sustain combat operations. On the U.S. side, this marked the culmination of months and in some cases years of deliberate planning and refinement against this particular target set. From precision strikes against key military infrastructure to persistent intelligence and targeting integration to the close coordination of the components across vast distances, this operation again demonstrated America's reach, readiness, and professionalism, and that of our joint united force. It was historic not only in the operational scope, but in the level of joint integration displayed across every element of the joint force. And as I said earlier, this work is just beginning and will continue. So now to talk a little bit about setting the force and setting the theater. On the order of the Secretary of War over the last 30 days to reinforce deterrence and provide the President with credible options should action be required, the Joint Force began to systematically reposition assets and personnel across the region. These movements ensured that U.S. forces remained postured, protected, and ready to respond decisively for any emerging threat. This deployment included thousands of service members from all branches, hundreds of advanced fourth and fifth generation fighters, dozens of refueling tankers, the Lincoln and Ford Carrier Strike Group and their embarked air wings, sustained flow of munitions, fuel, supplies, all supported with command and control, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance network. And the flow of forces continues today. In fact, Admiral Cooper will receive additional forces even today. This rapid buildup of forces demonstrated the Joint Forces' ability to adapt and project power at the time and place of our nation's choosing. I want to highlight a couple specific cases for you. The Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group, which many of you know was down in the Western Hemisphere, redeployed across the Atlantic to set the theater. The ship, her crew, their families, and the entire strike group took a deep breath and, as they always do, began planning to conduct combat operations. The integrated reserve and National Guard forces have continued.
News Radio 620 WTMJ, Wisconsin's Morning News. We're listening live to a briefing from the Pentagon. This is U.S. Air Force General Dan Kane, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, talking about the military operations as they have happened so far and what is next in Iran.
National Guard and the 158th Fighter Wing, they were mobilized for Operation Absolute Resolve and then were tasked to take their F-35As across the Atlantic instead of going home to be prepared to support this operation. The same is with our Air National Guard and Air Force Reserve Command tanker and mobility forces, who stepped right out of their civilian jobs to deploy and to protect the region. Lastly, I want to highlight the unsung heroes of warfare, our American logisticians and sustainment force, those who quietly work every day behind the scenes to project and sustain America's combat power. Our leaders from World War II were right when they said professionals do logistics. As regional tensions rose, the Joint Force elevated our force protection measures on the order of the Secretary and repositioned discreetly civilians and non-essential personnel designed to ensure the safety and security of our Joint Force. By the time operations began, only essential forces remained on our bases and in theater, all ready, capable to respond. So now let me move to H hour. At 3:38 p.m. on Friday, February 27th, the United States Central Command, through the Secretary of War, received the final go order from President Trump. The president directed, and I quote, "Operation Epic Fury is approved. No aborts. Good luck," close quote. In the region, every element of the Joint Force made their final preparations. Air defense batteries readied themselves, checking their systems to respond to Iranian attacks. Pilots and crews rehearsed their strike packages for the final time. Air crews began loading their final weapons, and 2 carrier strike groups began to move towards their launching points. Across the globe, our operations centers came alive in Tampa, Florida, here at the Pentagon, and of course forward in the Central Command AOR. As always, operational security was paramount as we sought to maintain and sustain the element of surprise. This operation was highly classified so that at H hour, the enemy would see one thing: speed, surprise, and violence of action. The first movers were U.S. Cybercom and U.S. Spacecom, layering non-kinetic effects, disrupting and degrading and blinding Iran's ability to see, communicate, and respond. At H hour, the beginning of major combat operations, 01:15 local Eastern Daylight Time, 9:45 local AM Tehran time, as dawn crept up across the Central Command AOR, the skies surged to life. More than 100 aircraft launched from land, sea, fighters, tankers, airborne early warning, electronic attack, bombers from the States, and unmanned platforms, forming a single synchronized wave. This was a daylight strike based on a trigger event conducted by the Israeli Defense Forces, enabled by the U.S. intelligence community. The first shooters at sea were Tomahawks unleashed by the United States Navy, closed in on Iranian naval forces, and began to conduct strikes across the southern flank in Iran. On the ground, forces fired precision standoff weapons, measured, deliberate, precise, and lethal. This was a massive, overwhelming attack across all domains of warfare, striking more than 1,000 targets in the first 24 hours. We are now roughly 57 hours into the operation. In the initial phase, CENTCOM's focus was systematic targeting of Iranians' command and control infrastructure, naval forces, ballistic missile sites, and intelligence infrastructure designed to daze and confuse them. Coordinated space and cyber operations effectively disrupted communications and sensor networks across the area of responsibility, leaving the adversary without the ability to see, coordinate, or respond effectively. The combined impact of these strikes, swift, precise, and overwhelming, has resulted in the establishment of local air superiority. This air superiority will not only enhance the protection of our forces, but also allow them to continue the work over Iran. Over the course of the last 2 days, the Joint Force has launched hundreds of missions from land and sea and delivered tens of thousands of pieces of ordnance. The effort continues to scale. This included American B-2 bombers, which again, similar to Midnight Hammer, flew a 37-hour round-trip sortie from the continental United States, dropping precision, penetrating munitions on Iranian underground facilities across the southern flank and slightly deeper. Additionally, Israel has separately executed hundreds of sorties against hundreds of targets. Beyond Air Force and Navy.
News Radio
aircraft
620 WTMJ, Wisconsin's Morning News. You've been listening to a live briefing from the Pentagon. Speaking first this morning with Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. This has been the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, U.S. Air Force General Dan Kane, updating the ongoing military operations in Iran. We're going to break away from this, but we'll bring you any further highlights. And we do expect perhaps they will take questions, and if some relevant questions come up from that, of course, we'll bring that to you here on WTMJ. Quickly, the markets. Opening bell on Wall Street still less than an hour away. Dow Jones Industrial Average, NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 futures are all down this morning. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Greg Matzik here, and I gotta hand it to Matrix Basement Finishing. They did it. They knocked our basement project out of the park, had it done before Christmas Eve, and now our lower level, which we used to call downstairs, is where our family connects. Memories being made thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing. Get the space you've always wanted with Matrix Basement Finishing. They only do basements. Book your transformation today. Visit matrixbasements.com/Matzik. Special pricing for you and pay nothing until 2028 with Matrix Basement Finishing.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. You can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. The warning from the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff as the American attacks expand in Iran.
This is not a single overnight operation. The military objectives that CENTCOM and the Joint Force have been tasked with will take some time to achieve, and in some cases will be difficult and gritty work.
General Dan Kane speaking this morning at the Pentagon. President Trump has warned the operations could take weeks. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
Their war on Americans has become our retribution against their Ayatollah and his death cult.
He also offered condolences for the 4 Americans already killed.
A grateful nation honors the 4 Americans we have lost thus far and those injured.
3 U.S. fighter jets taken down in Kuwait, mistakenly shot down by Kuwaiti air defenses. All 6 crew members ejected. The Iranian Red Crescent says at least 555 have been killed in the country. This is ABC News.
Well, we do have delays on westbound 94. Right about at Moreland Road, we have a crash. It is off on the left shoulder, so that's something to keep in mind through that area. Also, eastbound 94, you're backing up out of the Zoo Interchange to Hawley Road. Westbound is also slowing from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. We've also got backup southbound 43 from just south of Hampton all the way down towards Locust. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today. Skies mostly sunny, high of 39. Tonight's low 30. Milwaukee right now at 26. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, local news here. Milwaukee police investigating a double shooting that happened early this morning inside Aurora Sinai Medical Center. MPD reporting a 37-year-old man is in custody. 40-year-old victim was seriously hurt in the shooting. The second victim, 38 years old, expected to survive. Police say there is no ongoing risk to the public.
State utility regulators are ordering Alliant Energy to file a new application for custom data center electric rates. The Public Service Commission says the utility's original submission for the Meta data center, this is the one in Beaver Dam, left out too many details. Clean Wisconsin's Amy Barrio.
The proposed contract does not include clean energy or demand response requirements that would help lessen the environmental harms of the project. It doesn't guarantee long enough commitment to protect other customers.
Alliant's new application shows it'll supply up to 220 megawatts to the data center campus for a term of 10 years, numbers which were both redacted in the original proposal.
Drivers in Wisconsin for Walmart delivery service getting financial relief from a multi-state settlement.
Attorney General Josh Call says Walmart and its delivery service Spark Driver will be paying over $600,000 to Wisconsin as part of the settlement. The big box retailer is accused of withholding tips from the delivery drivers and changing pay after orders were accepted. Wisconsin was one of 11 states, along with the Federal Trade Commission, that sued Walmart. In total, the settlement is for $100 million. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Update to a story we told you about last week on Wisconsin's Morning News. Harley-Davidson now once again teaming up with Summerfest. The motorcycle maker's multi-year deal includes sponsoring fireworks and special motorcycle parking at the big gig. The Milwaukee Business Journal's Timothy Gibbons on WTMJ.
Very much ties in, obviously, to Harley's brand and that sense of Americana. The motorcycle company has rolled out a 250th anniversary edition of one of its bikes, so it all dovetails nicely.
Harley also announced it's ending its annual Homecoming Festival, instead turning to celebrations every 5 years.
News is brought to you by J&J Contractors. Visit jjcontractorsllc.com.
Dreaming of a home renovation? J&J Contractors has been turning houses into dreams for over 40 years. From stunning kitchens and luxurious bathrooms to finished lower levels, they handle complete renovations that elevate your space. And don't forget about the outside. J&J Contractors specialize in roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Schedule your free consultation today. Just Google J&J Contractors or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Hi, WTMJ's Sandy Max here to tell you about incredible career opportunities with my friends at Three Pillars Senior Living Communities in Dousman. Three Pillars is ranked best in continuing care, assisted and independent living, and it's a certified great place to work. They're hiring caregivers within their assisted living and memory care communities. Full and part-time day or evening shifts starting at $20 per hour, and you could get more based on experience and shifts. The best part, you'll make a difference in the lives of others every day. Go to threepillars.org and click on the Careers tab to learn more.
Parents can expect to use 2,500 to 3,000 diapers in a baby's first year. The Milwaukee Diaper Mission has distributed over 1.4 million diapers and other supplies for families just last year alone. This is WTMJ's Kristen Bry. Join me for WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies, where we will raise funds for Milwaukee Diaper Mission. You can be part of it. Text BABY to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620, to support our WTMJ Cares effort.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Dan Kane, now taking questions at the Pentagon. We're just going to dip back into this because this is the first part of their public comments this morning where they're taking questions from the assembled media.
Coming in and you hit most of it, and we absolutely do. We have incredible air defenders. Every once in a while you might have one, unfortunately we call it a squirter that makes its way through, and in that particular case it happened to hit a tactical operations center that was fortified, but these are powerful weapons. So we certainly will do, as I said, moments like that as we remember them and we take care of them and take care of their families, only stiffen our resolve to ensure that we do this properly.
Thank you.
Yep. Right here.
Thank you, Secretary Hegseth. I had two questions for you. First, are there currently any American boots on the ground in Iran?
No, but we're not going to go into the exercise of what we will or will not do. I think it's one of those fallacies for a long time that this department or presidents or others should tell the American people, this, and our enemies, by the way, here's exactly what we'll do. Here's exactly how long we'll go. Here's exactly how far we'll go. Here's what we're willing to do and not do. It's foolishness. And so President Trump ensures that our enemies understand we'll go as far as we need to go to advance American interests. But we're not dumb about it. You don't have to roll 200,000 people in there and stay for 20 years. We've proven that you can achieve objectives that advance American interests without being foolish about it. Now, will we be bold about it? Are we willing to be decisive about it? Do we put months and months of planning into what kind of effects we want to achieve? Absolutely. But going forward, why in the world would we tell you, the enemy, anybody, what we will or will not do in pursuit of an objective? We fight to win. We fight to achieve the objectives the President of the United States has laid out, and we will do so unapologetically. Thank you.
Is there any significance to Israel carrying out this strike to kill the Ayatollah?
Continuing to take questions here at the Pentagon this morning on Operation Epic Fury. 7:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
So many emails coming in. This trip will sell out. Vince Vitrano here, Vinny's European Vacation. Would love to have you join us in October. We're traveling to southern Italy and Sicily with WTMJ and Colette Vacations. Our tour begins in Palermo, Sicily. Happens to be where my dad's family is from. He's coming along on the trip as well. Agrigento, Sorrento, Amalfi Coast, Positano, Pompeii, and we end in Rome. Nothing you need to do except sign up and show up, as my team at Colette has thought of and has taken care of everything. I would love to send you a brochure. Inside that, beautiful pictures and a breakdown of each day on the trip, all of the sites, the sign-up information, even your all-in cost, and some options available to you as well. Email me, vince@WTMJ.com, vince@WTMJ.com. We've also got a special get-together here at the station, so you can meet me and talk with the folks at Colette. That is coming up on March 24th. Vince@WTMJ.com, Southern Italy and Sicily this fall.
Stop in for savings this week at Fleet Farm that'll help put winter in your rear view. Get a free $25 gift card with the purchase of $100 in Columbia, Dickies, Under Armour, or Wrangler clothing. Fire up the flavor with Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets for just $8.99 a bag. And buy 3, get 1 free on Cooper or Goodyear tires with our complete installation package and Resolute Road Hazard policy. Don't miss these limited time deals, only at Fleet Farm. And for even more, go to fleetfarm.com.
740, checking in with Debbie here.
All right, we're still seeing delays westbound 94 just west of 27th Street past Mitchell Boulevard. Again, in Waukesha County, more delays from the county line all the way towards Moreland Road. We do have a crash on the left shoulder just past Moreland Road. Eastbound, we've got some delays basically from Highway F all the way to Springdale, back on the brakes from the zoo all the way to Hawley Road. And then we've also got delays northbound 4394 coming up from the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. Westbound 894 from the Mitchell. Going to be slow all the way to about 76th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
From TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson with your Storm Team forecast. Mostly sunny for our Monday as temperatures climb into the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. Southeasterly winds off of Lake Michigan will keep lakefront communities, but on the cooler side, lower 40s farther inland. Increasing cloud cover tonight, though, as temperatures fall to around 30 degrees. We'll welcome in the chance of a bit of a wintry mix, light rain on our Tuesday. Some drizzle mixing in as well. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, highs in the low 40s.
Milwaukee right now at 26.
As we continue to monitor developments in the Middle East, we do know 4 U.S. military members have been killed so far in the response, and some accidental shootings, actually, that have taken place in the Middle East. So we'll continue to monitor that. We'll get you all the updates throughout the morning here on Wisconsin's Morning News. Do you want something to smile about?
Yes. Be all right.
So Harrison Ford was given the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Actor Awards. So what are the Actor Awards? That's SAG, and they just changed the name. So instead of SAG, Screen Actors Guild, AFTRA, and all that stuff, it's now the Actor Award.
Okay, same deal, but new name. Gotcha.
So I thought you'd appreciate that.
And thank you to SAG-AFTRA for honoring me with this prize. This is very encouraging.
Yeah, it's a good start. Yeah.
Well. Here, I might be onto some of this career.
So Ford, who was really emotional during the speech, said that like a lot of luck plays a role into anyone's success.
Sometimes we make entertainment. Sometimes we make art. Sometimes we're lucky we make them both at the same time. And if we're really fortunate, we also get to make a living doing it.
Woody Harrelson was his friend who introduced him before his speech. So then also Catherine O'Hara, of course, she just passed away recently. A phenomenal, hilarious actress who has been in a ton of stuff. Most recently, The Studio, which had won awards. And she won for her role in The Studio, posthumously, which is on Apple TV. So anyway, Seth Rogen, who's the producer of that show, he's also on it, spoke on her behalf.
She really showed that you can be a genius and be kind, and one of those things does not have to come at the expense of the other in any way, shape, or form.
Appreciated that line. Like, you can be really good at your job and also a nice person. But
revolutionary idea in Hollywood.
I thought you'd appreciate this, right? He talked about what she often would do in the nicest way, but also in a constructive way.
Pretty much every evening before she had a shooting day on our show, she would email me and Evan an email that always was pretty similar, and it said, "Hello, I hope you'll consider the following." And then there would be a completely rewritten version of the scene she was in. And literally 100% of the time, it made not just her character better, but it made the scene better and the entire show better as a whole.
So it helps when you have that cred, when you can send that note
Just
to
a
the
thought,
bosses.
right,
How
on
about we
this.
do it this way instead?
Entirely a different way than what you were thinking, right? Yes. Just want to make a few minor tweaks. 7:45 on Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings in Burlington. They're awnings and screen experts. Serving Southeast Wisconsin and Northern Illinois. I've been working with them for a while. As a matter of fact, they came out to my house, did some measurements. We chose some colors, and now I have a beautiful retractable awning that I can use whenever I need to. As a matter of fact, spring is coming up, and now's a great time to get your awning installed and have it ready for when the temps warm up. You can enjoy the shade in your backyard, extension of my living room. I love it. The dogs love it as well. We've got their local family-owned company priding themselves on customer service, and they have that. They'll listen to everything that you're worried about or concerned about or excited about. They have a great offer, too. Now until the end of March, you'll receive a free motor with the purchase of any retractable awning or screen. That means no cranking. That means just hit the button, and there you go. Give them a call at 414-AWNINGS for a free estimate or visit comfortawnings.com.
The only place to get this.
Leaves for Jericho Sims, and he works right past Dennis Schroeder for another dunk.
With some of this.
Jericho Sims has been a huge, huge part of that. Granted, we haven't seen it next to Giannis now, this version of how Jericho is playing. But what the coaching staff has done now is they have surrounded him with shooters.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ. Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Can I tell you a little something about the Chicago Bulls, the Bucks' opponent on Sunday? The Bulls did not win a game in the month of February. The Bulls had lost 11 games in a row. The Bulls were down by 16 points against the Milwaukee Bucks on Sunday.
Okay, Bucks roll.
Somehow the Bulls won by more than 20. Wow. How does that happen, Coach?
When you approach the game and play like that, you don't deserve to win. If we had won the game, I'd have been upset. I'd have taken the win because we need it. But that is not how you play basketball.
120-97 the final. The Bucks get another shot at it tonight against the Celtics right here on WTMJ Radio.
The World Baseball Classic featuring teams from 20 nations begins this week. We got 9 guys from the Brewers Big League camp competing. Infielder Bryce Terang for Team USA. Shortstop Joey Ortiz competes for Mexico. And aside from pride of playing for country, Ortiz actually sees it as an opportunity to sharpen his skills for the upcoming MLB season.
Just going to get me in more full like game situations. Not that spring doesn't do that, but it can be not as similar to like season games. But I think these WBC games will be more like playoff, type atmosphere. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Brewers' next spring training game is not until Wednesday. We play the Cubs in a 2:10 first pitch.
It's March 2nd. You know what that means? It's starting to get to tournament time for college basketball. First round of the Horizon League gets underway this week. The Panthers play Detroit Mercy on Wednesday. If they win that game, then the rest of the games are in Indy. So let's go. Let's see what can happen. Wednesday, Panthers and Detroit Mercy. Meanwhile, the Badger women play in the Big Ten tournament on Wednesday. They play Illinois. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited Siding and a whole lot more.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2026.
Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Was so grateful I actually remembered to bring my glasses. We were going to see a show on Sunday. I always forget to bring my glasses in, and then I can't read the playbill. So I finally brought my glasses. Remembering them, that's on me. Getting them, that's on you. And you want to do that at Shopco Optical. Make sure you're using your HSA dollars and your insurance benefits. Full exam start to finish only take you inside an hour. And you purchase the frames, pick them out right there in the store. I go to the Hales Corners office, but there are locations all over southeast Wisconsin. And then less than a week out, in my case, I have my new glasses, custom lenses, ready to go. Visit the folks I know and trust for my eye care. Call Shopco Optical or get started online at shopco.com.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Staples has hot deals and low prices on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
7:51. Let's get an update on time saver traffic from Debbie.
Westbound 94, we do have a crash right at Moreland Road off on the left shoulder, so watch out for that. Delays are coming in from just west of Highway 100 to that point. We also have delays from about 27th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound 94, watch for the backups from the Zoo interchange all the way to Holly Road. We got southbound 43 backups from Silver Spring down to about Locust. And then on northbound 4394, we've got delays coming out of the Mitchell interchange around the Plainfield curve, pretty much all the way up towards Oklahoma Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Sunny today, a high of 39. Tonight, more clouds, a low of 30. Rest of the week, there's a chance of rain tomorrow, a high of 41. Wednesday, a high of 44. Thursday, rain likely, 46. Friday, rain likely, a high of 58 on Friday, 7:52.
Idea Man.
What I definitely don't want in sports is to take the human element out of it. That's why we love it.
Innovator.
What the hell is going on out here?
And Packers Hall of Famer.
Don't do AI Vince Lombardi, man. We can't have AI Vince Lombardi.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tausch, do you know how to pronounce the new special teams coordinator's name? Cameron.
I don't. Can you help me out? It's so new.
I'm asking you. Is it Accord or Achord or seems to have a fine enough pedigree for?
I'm guessing this morning we will talk a lot about him. I know he is a Belichick. You know, he's part of the Patriots and the Giants and. I think it's Accord, but okay. I will get back to you tomorrow because I'm sure Jason's got that all dialed in.
We'll go with that for now.
Okay.
Also a follow-up to our conversation that we had the other day. We were talking about the Players Union, NFL Players Association, how they send out these surveys to all their guys and say, all right, grade out your teams on this, that, or the other thing. And one of the things that our guys, our Green Bay Packers, said is they'd really like to have game day childcare available to them. Apparently, this is something that's done in more teams than not across the league. So I proffered the opportunity, Tausch, to create a Green Bay Packers babysitting network. As I suggested, you could put the word out to the various Green Bay suburbs and Green Bay proper. We were looking for 16 plus. You went through the Red Cross training.
There'd be hundreds of volunteers.
Right? I said you get volunteers.
Yes, there would.
My wife offered this suggestion. She goes, never mind the kids. You need Green Bay nanas. Green Bay nanas, Green Bay Grammys, everybody else. You know, kind of in the image of that lady that kissed Aaron Rodgers on the head that time at that thing that they were having in the atrium.
Well, then that leads to the question, would you rather have a 17 or 18-year-old high school student babysitting your kid or a 75-year-old? And I think most of us would probably, as long as the 75-year-old could move around, and I think I'd probably go that way, get that all that knowledge that they could instill. So that's interesting. I don't know if that was the direction you wanted to take this conversation, but I do think Erik is 100% right. You get where if you need people to shovel the stadium out, people line up.
Yep.
And this is what is so great and what makes our team so special and our franchise is everybody wants to do their part. Cowboy fans and Steelers, they all think they're part of the team, and they all want to help. Green Bay believes that they are part of the team because they are. They saved the franchise back in the 1920s, and now with the different stock sales, the only team that does it. So if and when we can help, we do. And if this is something, and whether or not this is something that should be, every game given to players, and that's a conversation and debate to have. But if every team is doing it and you want to, for lack of a better term, keep up with the Joneses, you need to provide and be better in every facet of everything that these franchises are doing. So if you're going to do it, I am going to vote for, I want all the nanas. I want all the umas, all the whatever phrases you want to throw out. I want all of them to come and then they should get a free ticket to another game that they don't babysit for. Like, if you want to embrace this and really get people rolling, I think that's the way to go about it.
Could you just see, too, especially if it's the Grammys and the Nanas and whatnot, when whatever player gets, okay, Micah Parsons gets home. Now, Micah, we had a few timeouts today. They were mostly good, right? Also, I told them Dad's at work now. Sit down here and watch this game.
She's all decked out in her Packer
she's got her
gear,
jersey
right?
on. She got your kid got the nap at 1, but we made sure when it was closing time and Enter Sandman was coming, we made sure your kid was up so that you could see him close up shop. And then think of all of the other things you could do. You could have bingo night with the kids. Anything that you could kind of put in, and then you could have the blue light. What is it? The blue light special, or you could have the early dinner. If it was a noon game, you could start dinner at 3:00. There's all kinds of fun things that you can do.
Yeah, now they're all set to go. They'll be ready for bed right away. All right, I think we fixed it, Tom.
We really wore them out. Yeah, we ran them all the way through. They played canasta and dodgeball. Yep, all of those things.
Now, the kids next door, they came for a little bit. That's okay, right? Yeah, they're fine. They can play with the kids. Business Journal Report is up next. That's sponsored by the Alliance Smarter Networks. Serious Savers.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The parent company of Milwaukee Bucks broadcaster FanDuel Sports initiates a wind down by issuing layoff notices that all jobs will be eliminated once the regular season ends in April. The Bucks have yet to announce TV plans for next season. Menominee Falls manufacturer T.J. Hale closed 1 month ago, and now 2 suppliers file lawsuits seeking nearly $200,000 in unpaid bills. One of those is Timber Creek Resources in Brookfield, which is owed nearly $31,000. Muskego-based Milk Can Hamburgers and Frozen Custard opens a location in downtown Milwaukee. The takeout eatery will be at Paper Table Food Hall on Milwaukee Street. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Tired of watching your company's healthcare costs rise 8, 9, or even double-digit percentages every year? There's a better way with the Alliance. For more than 35 years, employers have turned to the Alliance to lower their healthcare costs, improve access to high-value care, and keep their employees healthy. With powerful data and insights, the Alliance gives self-funded employers the tools to make informed decisions that help bend the medical cost trend. And it's working. Employers of all sizes and industries are seeing measurable results, from fewer unnecessary procedures and lower out-of-pocket costs to shorter recovery times and more productive, engaged workforces. The Alliance's recent partnerships with major health systems in the Midwest are giving employees even more in-network options close to home, making care more convenient and more affordable. Because when employees get the right care at the right time, everyone benefits. The Alliance. Smarter networks, serious savings. Learn more at the-alliance.org.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
They need all the luck of the Irish. All we need is
KPJ. Kevin Porter Jr. wiggles free in the corner, hits the 3 and draws the foul.
The Bucks take on the Celtics at Fiserv Forum.
Porter stuffs it down with one hand and shrugs his shoulder after the fact.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6 on the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, March 2nd, our top story. Another U.S. service member killed in the Middle East.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A shooting at the hospital.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, southbound on 41, seeing some delays right past Capitol Drive, heading down towards Burleigh. The northbound side's a bit heavy as well from about North Avenue up past Burleigh as well. Southbound 43, backing up from before Hampton down past Locust. Westbound 94, watch for delays from west of 27th Street through the stadium to Mitchell Boulevard, and then just west of Highway 100 all the way in towards Sunny Slope Road. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, a high of 39 degrees today. Skies mostly sunny. We'll see increasing clouds overnight and a low dropping to 30 degrees. Right now, Milwaukee's at 30. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, as Iran warns they are preparing for a long war with the U.S., Department of War Secretary Pete Hegseth inside the Pentagon this morning, saying the president felt he had no other options than to call for this joint strike operation.
The former regime had every chance to make a peaceful and sensible deal. But Tehran was not negotiating. They were stalling.
Announced this morning a fourth U.S. service member killed in the conflict. President Trump said the military operation against Iran could last up to 4 weeks.
The Department of Homeland Security now warning of potential lone wolf terror attacks amid the ongoing strikes in the Middle East.
A day after the DHS warning it, as if to confirm the agency's concerns, a man opened fire in downtown Austin, Texas, early Saturday, killing 2 and wounding 14 before he was killed by police. Images of Njaga Janya moments before he was shot show him wearing a sweatshirt bearing the words "Property of Allah." He's also said to have been wearing a T-shirt featuring an Iranian flag. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
2 people shot early this morning inside a hospital in downtown Milwaukee.
Milwaukee police are investigating a double shooting inside Aurora Sinai Medical Center near 12th and State. Officers responded just after 2:15 Monday morning. A 40-year-old man is being treated for life-threatening injuries, while a 38-year-old man suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Police arrested a 37-year-old man in connection with the shooting and say there is no ongoing threat to the public. Aurora Healthcare says staff worked closely with law enforcement and that care is being provided to those affected. The hospital remains open. At Aurora Sinai Medical Center, Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Deadly house fire in Brookfield. 2 people dead after fire crews responded to a Brookdale Drive early Saturday. 2 people and a dog trapped inside. 1 person and the dog died at the scene, the other at the hospital. 3 officers taken to the hospital suffering injuries as well.
More changes and closures ahead on I-94 with multiple overnight major construction tied to bridge demolition and pavement repairs.
As crews continue the bridge removal on the east leg of I-94, the DOT's Erik says
the concrete deck over the freeway is completely removed, and over the next few nights we're working to remove those steel girders that remain out there.
More work continues later in the week.
We do have a lot of repair work that we're going to do to maintain that existing freeway, and that'll happen Thursday and Friday night.
All closures are scheduled for overnight before reopening for the morning commute. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
Consumer experts are warning about scammers posing as local government officials. Scammers sending emails and text messages claiming people owe money for taxes, building permits, or zoning fees. Michelle Ryan with the State Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection.
They appear convincing. They're sometimes impersonating specific individuals within the government, and they often use government logos, street addresses, and titles to convince consumers to respond.
Ryan says most scammers will try to trick victims to wire the money.
Coming up, this American Olympian grateful to be back home with both her legs. That story next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:05.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does. Because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
A teenager from Milwaukee in custody after vehicle break-ins and 2 early morning chases in New Berlin. This was early Saturday. New Berlin police responded to multiple reports of vehicle burglaries. Officers tried to stop a vehicle that was leaving the area. Driver fled the scene, was eventually stopped after hitting a tire deflation device. 17 years old, arrested, no injuries reported.
Consumers are seeing a new kind of sticker shock when buying a vehicle.
It's called a destination charge, and it's now averaging about $1,600. It's to cover the cost of shipping a new car or truck to its purchaser. Overall, car buyers spent more than $26 billion to cover destination charges in 2025, according to data from Edmunds, the online car shopping resource. Automakers have been upping the fee by hundreds of dollars in recent years as fuel and shipping costs have risen. Now, higher tariff fees are likely contributing to the increases, according to car dealers and analysts. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
We're hearing now from American skiing star badly injured at the Olympics, Lindsey Vonn.
Lindsey Vonn is finally back home after she suffered a compound leg fracture in her first run at the Winter Olympics and almost lost that leg. She's posted an update to Instagram with a photo cuddling her late pup, Leo, who died while she was undergoing surgeries and recovering in Italy. She writes that was just one of the harsh realities that hit her when she wheeled through her front door, and Leo wasn't there to greet her. Vonn acknowledges it feels good to sleep in her own bed, but says it'll be a hard and painful journey. She'd entered the Winter Games competing on an ACL she tore the week before. She revealed her leg had been in danger of amputation. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Did you see the x-rays?
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't even look like a bone anymore.
Right. You couldn't see, like, the fracture. It was...
Oof.
And I don't know that that's what we anticipated. Remember, we had said she was airlifted off the mountain, which...
They often do.
They often do, even when it's not a severe injury,
right,
because that's kind of the best way to get you to the hospital and
the
attention that you need, but didn't know at the time that it was as bad as it was. I mean, tough enough to go to the Olympics when you're not 100%, not at your best, right? On top of that, then to not perform at your best. On top of that, then to get hurt, but then to this, to be hurt or injured to that extent where it's going to affect her life moving forward, her ability to walk, move around, to ever ski again, any of those things.
And also, this isn't that important anymore if you think about it, but she probably had a big itinerary outside of just skiing when she was going to be in Italy. Don't forget, like, it's got sponsorships, got appearances. There's probably a lot that she was planning on doing during the run in Milan, and all of it gone.
Definitely she is grateful to be back home. Coming up on 8:10 here on Wisconsin's Morning News. News is sponsored by Appliance Gallery, your Milwaukee luxury appliance store. ApplianceGalleryWI.com.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Appliance Gallery, right on Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee. Their gorgeous showroom is the most up-to-date in our state, featuring luxury brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, Fisher & Paykel, and more. They'll work right with your contractor or designer and make the process seamless. They even offer brands where you can choose from custom colors. As a small family-owned company with one location, they deliver impeccable service with a personal touch. Visit ApplianceGalleryWI.com or stop in today.
Ever wonder what it takes to feel truly wealthy and financially comfortable? Schwab asked Americans that question, and most said at least $2 million. But here's the thing, your number might be different. And that makes sense because your dreams, travel, retirement, and the legacy you want to leave are unique to you. That's why you need advice that's just as personal. The team at Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen and help you build a plan that fits your life. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Having a plan and having a strategy are not the same thing. Vince Vitrano here for Margol Media. This is a Milwaukee-based full-service digital marketing agency that will help your business grow. So maybe you're out there, you've bought a few ads on social media because you think that's a good idea, right? But what's your overall goal? What do you want that marketing to do? Who are you targeting with your ads? Why are your ads running when they are, where they are, and which platforms? If you don't have answers to some of these basic questions, you do not have a strategy. No worries. Margol will take it from there. Shane and his team, they are experienced professional experts in digital marketing. So what they'll do is align your business goals with the right digital solutions, and they will deliver measurable results so you can grade their performance. Free initial consultation, so nothing to lose by reaching out. Tell them Vinny sent you. It's Margol Media, Margle Media.com.
The time to start that home project is now. Get all the information you need to renovate your home during the Spring Home Improvement Showcase. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Join us as we highlight the best partners for you to improve your home, including appliance gallery, comfort awnings, ridgetop exteriors, and outdoor living unlimited. Make your home the best it can be with the Spring Home Improvement Showcase on WTMJ.
11 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's hear from Debbie here on the Morning Drive.
Well, we got some delays westbound 94 from just west of 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. A little bit more from about Highway 100 to, I would say, just west of there, like maybe about a half a mile's worth of a delay. We got an incident on the left shoulder is what they are calling it. I believe it's a violator. Eastbound 94 backing up from just before 84th Street all the way to about Holly Road. More delays coming out of the stadium interchange towards 35th Street. And then northbound on 4394 coming out of the Plainfield curve, going to be slow up past Oklahoma Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Temperatures on the mild side through the week. We're looking at Friday, a high of 58 degrees. Got a ways to go before we get there. Today's high 39 degrees and skies mostly sunny. Low of 30 degrees overnight. Milwaukee's already at 30 right now.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Coming up on 8:14 this Monday morning on Wisconsin's Morning News. A lot of new information to get to on the U.S. continuing joint operation with Israel striking Iran. A military effort that President Trump says could last weeks. I saw NBC News had coverage from Richard Engel this morning. I believe Chief Foreign Correspondent is his title. He's always in a war-torn region.
Right. Yep.
Almost exclusively, like he's a war correspondent, right? And I had the thought of, as he's got, and I don't know, was he in Israel this morning? Some of the targets that were hit there. There have been other Arab states that have been attacked by Iran, or if he actually had gotten into Iran, wherever he was, things were destroyed all around him. And I just had that thought of, if you ever see this man with your own eyes, bad things are going on where you are. He is every time reporting from those war zones. Right. So that is happening this morning. We heard from Secretary of, I go back and forth on what we should call him. Are we calling it the Department of Defense or are we calling it the Department of War? Whatever you like to call him, he is both the Secretary of Defense or Secretary of War, depending on how you want to label him. Secretary Pete Hegseth spoke this morning in the first live question and answer type comments that came since the military strikes overnight our time into Saturday morning.
President Trump ensures that our enemies understand we'll go as far as we need to go to advance American interests. But we're not dumb about it. You don't have to roll 200,000 people in there and stay for 20 years.
So Hegseth says that they have a plan. He also said that he would not, I shouldn't say rule out, but he did not address whether or not there'd be American boots on the ground. He was asked that question, but said maybe, but also said we're not going to share any information that would obviously be used by Iran or other forces. So did not say whether or not there would be U.S. troops on the ground. We do know of at least 4 that have been killed so far, 4 U.S. military members, and they were brought up multiple times during the news conference this morning, including from the Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman Dan Kane.
We expect to take additional losses, and as always, we will work to minimize U.S. losses.
So the president has said that this could just take weeks before it is completed. A little bit more from the secretary, or I should say the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
This is not a single overnight operation. The military objectives that CENTCOM and the Joint Force have been tasked with will take some time to achieve, and in some cases will be difficult and gritty work.
So some of what's been happening now is Iran's been firing back volley of strikes to several Gulf states, including Saudi Arabia. And there are a lot of questions about that strategy because there's a couple of different pundits, senior Gulf Arab officials, and others who have been speaking with CNN saying that that is a major miscalculation. to be firing these missiles at just about everyone surrounding you.
And you wondered, was their calculation that they would be, these other Arab states, angry with the U.S.? Like, look what you made them do to us, and somehow have taken action to try to prevent the U.S. from continuing this operation in conjunction with Israel. It seems to have not been read that way
right.
by these other Arab states, as you mentioned. In fact, still under fire this morning. Let me play you this. This is ABC News' Marcus Moore. He is in Qatar.
Here in Qatar, we got the new emergency alerts that went out to cell phones this morning, and we've heard more loud booms here in Doha. Meanwhile, overnight, President Trump says the new potential leaders of Iran have indicated that they want to talk. We saw the Interim Leadership Council meeting this weekend, but Trump did not elaborate on plans for any future U.S. negotiations.
Again, that's Marcus Moore, ABC News in Qatar this morning. He also brought up these future negotiations. We spoke with Karen Travers from ABC at the White House this morning and just kind of asked her, negotiations with who? Like, who's running Iran right now? It's somewhat unclear because the supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, has been taken out.
Right.
Iran confirmed that. Just doing some reading on that over the weekend, and everything flows through this person, the supreme leader. So yes, there are these councils and there are other elected apparatus in the country, but the supreme leader controls almost all of that as well. So there's not, unless you have that head of state, that one person in that position through whom everything flows, it's kind of unclear with whom we would be negotiating even.
There's not a lot of love lost for this guy. I mean, you're not going to hear anyone really say, oh, that's a shame, even Iranians. However, the question becomes, okay, well, what is going to happen and who is involved and who's going to do that? It would sound like, at least from what we heard this morning, U.S. is not interested in rebuilding the regime.
You mentioned Iran and how it's being received there. Let me play you this from ABC's Allison Cossack.
Across Iran, celebrations large and small. But in Tehran's main square, a likely organized demonstration of support for the regime, including chants of death to America. President Trump told the New York Times he has, quote, 3 very good choices for who could lead Iran, but he says he won't reveal them now.
And under what structure? Now, I thought it was interesting that Secretary Hegseth said this morning regime change was not the goal, that it's a byproduct, which I guess both things can be true. You can be happy that the Ayatollah was taken out, that there may well be regime change, but also suggest that that wasn't the goal. In fact, if you want a couple of other things that stood out to me from the chairman of the Joint Chiefs and what he says our military objectives were there, he said we want to prevent Iran's ability to project power outside its borders, which is a fancy way of saying, like, we don't want them to be able to affect anyone militarily outside of Iran. So we don't want them launching missiles at anybody. We don't want them funding terrorist groups,
proxies,
Hezbollah, Hamas, others, the Houthi rebels in Yemen. We don't want them to be able to do that. So it's a broad objective with a very specific goal. The other one, destroy Iran's combat operations. And he mentioned that there were years, in some cases, up to years of deliberate military planning, which would indicate not only this administration, but others had looked at this. And if we ultimately get to this point, what are the targets? How do we hit them? What munitions are necessary in order to accomplish those objectives?
So on Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News, Libby Collins had multiple people on discussing the situation. And one of them, this was interesting. It's a woman named Denise Romano Faust, who was at Mar-a-Lago Friday night when this all went down, or before this all went down. She was at a Place of Hope fundraiser, which is a First Lady fundraiser, this woman. And she says, little did they know, but all of a sudden the music starts to play, and there's the president.
We knew that he was probably going to be walking in, but we were shocked because we just didn't think that he would have the time. And so he came in and he had his white cap on, and it was a brief visit. But the thing is, when we heard 2 hours later that, you know, what had happened in Iran, we just couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe that he would have taken the time to come in and say hello and then go on to have that happen, to authorize the attack. I mean, it was just incredible.
So he was wearing the same hat that he was wearing in the videos, that USA hat that he had on, and made a quick appearance, and that was it. This woman, Denise, said that they did call to him asking him if he was going to stay.
She said, "Can't you stay a little longer?" And he said, "No, I got to get to work." And little did he know that this was going to happen.
That was the woman on Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins.
I thought that was fascinating, and I saw that video. I got to go to work, and he was, in fact, wearing that same hat that you would see him later in the photographs of watching and executing these attacks. Reminded me of when President Obama was at the Correspondents' Dinner the night that Osama bin Laden was taken. And that operation was, he knew that was about to get underway. He was there at this very public event anyway, and then after went and then saw to that business. But it was the same night. So continuing on, business as usual until it's not.
Right.
And then was engaged in that.
We have yet to hear from the president other than the 2 videos that were posted. Nothing live, nothing like that. However, he does have an event scheduled for today to present some medals to a couple of folks. But Karen Travis, who joined us earlier, didn't think that he would take questions. But you never know.
You don't, though.
Right.
Because in those situations that are about other things, he oftentimes, if there's any opportunity, obviously, for the press to do that,
there's the opportunity,
they'll shout the things at him, and very often, more often than not, he'll start taking them and answering. It is 8:23 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Let's check in with Debbie here.
All right, southbound on 43, still backing up from Capitol Drive down past Locust. We've got eastbound 94 slowing from about 92nd Street almost to Hawley Road. And again through the Stadium interchange out to 35th. The westbound side's backed up from about 35th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. And then more delays westbound on 894 from about 27th Street all the way to 60th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Finding the right talent is not just tough, it's critical. In a world shaped by rapid change, AI, and evolving skills, you need people who are ready to adapt and lead. Vince Vitrano for LAK Group, experts in recruiting across your organization, finding top candidates, assessing their skills, culture fit, and ability to thrive in the workplace of tomorrow. LAK Group does not fill positions. They build high-performing teams, engaged, future-ready, and equipped to navigate what's next. LAKgroup.com.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad for Tri-County Contracting. Do you love the way your home looks? When you pull into the driveway, do you think, yes, it pops. Best house on the street, right? Looks that good. Or do you know it could use a little bit of work, but you're not quite sure where to start? Well, that's where Tri-County Contracting comes in. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. They're going to help you design your home to the taste and style that you like. Tri-County's there to help you creatively make your home the way you want it. Love your home again with Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's roofing, siding, and windows that'll make you love your home again.
Potential is like God's love. It lives within everyone and shows us that we are made for more. At Aug Prep, faith ignites excellence in academics, the arts, athletics, and every aspect of our lives. Students don't just realize their full potential, we learn to soar. The #1 K-12 school in Milwaukee is expanding to the North Shore and is now enrolling grades K4 through 6th and 9th. Aug Prep North, made for more. Apply today at augprep.org.
Struggling to provide for your family is a real thing, like having to choose between feeding them a warm meal or paying the utility bill. These are the choices many Milwaukee residents are faced with, which is why they turn to St. Vincent de Paul Society's meal program for help. Our meal program has been a consistent resource for those in need for over 42 years. Nutritious meals, warm showers, and clean clothes, all in a safe, family-friendly environment. Our mission is clear, and that's to help you break the cycle of poverty by connecting you with life-changing community and educational resources. Last year, we provided $2.2 million in goods and services, plus 57,000 warm meals. If you or anyone you know needs a warm evening meal, you can find us at Harambe Kitchen 5 nights a week on the northeast side of Milwaukee in the basement of All People's Church. And at Crossroads Kitchen on the south side of Milwaukee 6 nights a week on 9th and Madison. As always, we're grateful for community members and volunteers who help us help you. To learn more, visit svdpmilw.org.
You've spent a lifetime taking care of others. Now it's your turn to enjoy life your way. At Capri Communities, they offer vibrant senior living where neighbors become friends, and each day brings something to smile about.
Well, it's breakfast with the boys, and then bingo is at 3 in the afternoon. I lost that super lady I lived with for 60 years, but have found a home and doing well. The accommodations, the facilities, it's been a pleasure.
Find your perfect new home at capricommunities.com.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to adventknows.com.
826 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Do not get a parking ticket in the city of Milwaukee. I'm just telling you. This maybe falls under the category of, and maybe this is the case in your house with relationships. My wife says I don't know how much anything costs anymore. Have you had that conversation or no? Or do you,
I've had that conversation with you.
So you know better what things cost. For example, hey, we want to do this at the house, or we want this work done. It cost about $1,000. No,
not even
it's not
close.
how much we need a new washer dryer. I'm like, it's this. No, it's like this many thousands.
Yeah,
really. So chalk this up to I did not know that's how much this costs. I got a ticket yesterday, and it was totally my fault. I parked literally under a no parking sign.
Which doesn't sound like you.
It's not. I wasn't trying to get away with it. I wasn't thinking like, oh, they'll never get me or whatever. Like, I just didn't see it. And there was no apparent reason, it seemed, like that this would be a no parking zone other than that's what the sign said. But I just didn't see it. And so I come out to the car after, and I see this ticket on the thing. I'm like, no, I'm reaching for my phoney because you know what I'm going to do.
Oh, yeah. You're going to take a picture.
I'm going to take pictures.
Challenge.
That's right. I'll go to court if I have to.
And you've been successful with that.
I have challenged on occasion. Right. So I'm going to, and I look up and it's right underneath the no parking sign. I think the checker must have driven by and been like, hang on.
Really?
This guy must have known, right? And it wasn't like there weren't other places to park. So I just screwed up. I made a mistake. Okay. I own that. I have to.
Yeah.
There's no challenge to be had. I did it. $40.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Does it?
That doesn't surprise me.
Why? Why does it $40?
Well, as opposed to what? 10? It just
15? I'll give you 15.
I don't think it's ever been 15. I think I paid a $25 ticket 20 years ago.
Really? $40? The city expects this year, we've reported this number, but the city has budgeted for parking violation related revenue. Now, I don't know if that includes tolls and all that other stuff, but they plan to make between $14 and $17 million in the city of Milwaukee on knobs like me who didn't see the sign, or some people trying to get away with it or whatever. But it was my fault. I don't have a defense. I guess they could have charged me $500. I did it. $40.
Hey, you better get a move on that because that ticks up.
Oh, yeah, you don't pay that, then it's like, all right, your second, this is your first warning. Now it's 55.
Yeah.
And then it's 75, and then whatever, then they do. And then it did make me think for people who are maybe down on their luck or struggling anyway, and then you pop a parking deal, like, how do people have 6 or 7 or 8 unpaid parking tickets? Well, you shouldn't have that many, but by the same token, if you can't pay them,
right, you can't afford it.
That's a hardship for some people, and if you have multiple of those, or you get dinged a couple of times, that can set you back. So, not for nothing, like I'll deal with it, and I'm going to be okay. But $40.
It's interesting because usually, aren't you the type that I know I am? The type that when you pull up, you like the first thing you do is scan for a fire hydrant.
Yep.
Like look 3 times.
I passed by that spot. I'm like, ooh, there's one. Nope, fire hydrant. Okay.
Yeah, and then the next thing you're like looking at, I like get freaked out. I'm like looking down the street. Like,
Yes.
all right, I don't see anything that would suggest I can't park.
And
here.
then you see the sign that says Monday through Friday, 2-hour meter parking, this time to this.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, this time. Like you were
Yeah,
double
you're like,
check,
okay, you're
reread.
checking your watch.
Like, what time? What
Yes,
day is it?
yes.
Okay, no, I think I'm good. Do I have to feed? Yes. Right underneath it, almost literally under my nose. No idea how I could have done it.
Or above your nose.
I suppose it was. 8:30 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family. They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family.
caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. If you're trying to work, juggle life, and keep your dog happy at the same time, look, I get it. We're the same way. Thankfully, we've found the Hounds and Tap for doggy daycare for our Greyhound Knight. It's been a game changer for us. He gets exercise, time to socialize with other dogs. We know Knight's in great hands at the Hounds and Tap. They even take care of his grooming during his visits or separate appointments. That's perfect for us. If you're like us and searching for top-tier services and a team you can trust, get connected at thehoundsandtap.com.
Hey beauties, you're invited to swing by your local Merle Norman for a fabulous eye-catching gift with purchase that's sure to make you sparkle. What's inside this gift? Only the essentials for eye perfection. Trial sizes of Brilliancy Eye Cream, eyeshadow primer, a soft touch eyeshadow duo, and soft touch eye pencil. Hurry, these goodies are only good while supplies last at Merle Norman Cosmetics Salon and Spa at Brookfield Square. Free with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products. Cosmetic accessories not included. Offer valid while supplies last at participating Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios only. Limit 1 per customer. We reserve the right to modify the gift if needed. Promotion not available at merlenorman.com.
March into big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Refresh your home this season with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, beautiful new siding, or a stunning bath remodel and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during their March savings event. But this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. 20 to 30 pounds. How about a month or two? Call for your free weight loss consultation. 262-449-1180. That's 262-449-1180. Or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Whatever the weather, visit WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. The legendary Island Green at TPC Sawgrass. Visit Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center today for a cash prize 2-man scramble tournament. Play where the players play on their spacious state-of-the-art simulators. Must play in March.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. This morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, President Trump will address the U.S.-Israeli strikes on Iran from the White House. The Iranian Red Crescent says over 500 Iranians have been killed so far. 4 American service members killed in an Iranian strike. And General Dan Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, says,
"We expect to take additional losses. And as always, we will work to minimize U.S. losses."
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also speaking at the Pentagon this morning.
This is not a so-called regime change war, but the regime sure did change, and the world is better off for it.
President Trump has said the military operations could take several weeks. In the first day of trading since the attacks began, stock markets are opening down. Oil prices rising sharply, up around 8%. Experts say gas prices in the U.S. could push over $3 a gallon soon. This is ABC News.
We got southbound 43 backing up from just before Capitol Drive all the way down to Locust. The westbound side of 94 backing up from 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side slowing down from 84th all the way to Hawley Road. Rest of the system still looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Today's high 39 degrees, skies mostly sunny with a low overnight of 30. That's where we are right now, 30 degrees. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, police are investigating a double shooting early this morning inside a downtown Milwaukee hospital.
An early morning shooting inside Aurora Sinai Medical Center near 12th and State leaves one man fighting for his life. Police were called around 2:15 a.m. Monday. A 40-year-old victim is hospitalized with life-threatening injuries. A second man, 38, is expected to survive. A 37-year-old suspect is in custody, and investigators say there is no active danger to the public. Aurora Healthcare says it partnered with police in response to the incident and confirms the medical center remains open. At Aurora Sinai Medical Center, Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin's Public Service Commission is ordering Alliant Energy to resubmit documents about a data center after its first submission hid details from the public.
Were
not going to be able allow us to do sort of the basic functions of open government.
Alliant Energy has since filed a revised application for custom electric rates for the Meta Data Center campus in Beaver Dam. It's a win for consumer advocates like Clean Wisconsin, who say the original proposal had too many loopholes.
This contract puts too much risk on Alliant Energy's other customers, which are Wisconsin families and small businesses, and it prevents the PSC from being able to impose conditions that protect our environment.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Walmart delivery drivers in Wisconsin getting some financial relief from a multi-state settlement. Attorney General Josh Call reporting Walmart and its delivery service Spark Driver will be paying over $600,000 to Wisconsin as part of the settlement. The big box retailer accused of withholding tips from delivery drivers and changing pay after orders were accepted. Wisconsin was one of 11 states, along with the Federal Trade Commission, that sued Walmart.
News about your money, the WTMJ NX Wealth Management Market Update. Of course, keeping our eye on Wall Street because of everything happening in the Middle East. Here is where we at with the bell ringing minutes ago. The Dow is now down about 1%. It's off 471. The NASDAQ is down, had been down more than 1%, but now it's coming back just a bit. It's off 156. The S&P about the same, almost 1% off, down 49 at the moment.
Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
Amy Simonson is the IT administrator with Professional Services Group. They had business technology from a not-so-supportive vendor. Not anymore. They switched to James Imaging Systems.
They come in as a partner. They want to help you. They want to make your business successful.
Including your James Imaging Systems sales representative.
He's always there when I need him. It's always like, what can I do to help you?
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner with great people and more value.
The value is we have the right equipment in the right place. We're getting reliable, consistent service when we need it.
Amy, your advice for other Wisconsin businesses?
I would definitely say contact James Imaging. They are very helpful and knowledgeable and will put you in the right place.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation. Call 262-781-7700. 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Raise your hand if you're excited about feeling older faster than you should. Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scavidi. Yeah, I didn't think so. Ongoing pain makes you feel older than you are, but here's the good news. QC Kinetics patients right here in Milwaukee are getting relief, like me, feeling younger, hope so, jumping back into life full speed, and it didn't happen in an operating room. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics, medical professionals all the way, use the latest regenerative treatments backed by real science, treatments that take the tiny, powerful healing tools inside your own body, concentrate them right where you need relief. That's how. Let's say Mike is training for a marathon instead of giving up running. Kathy walked around Disney with her grandkids. Alan's back to work, now climbing ladders, no big deal. All real QC Kinetics patients. The sooner you start with treatment, the sooner inflammation eases and the sooner joint damage slows down, because no one signs up for feeling older faster. Find out if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. Your visit and consultation is free. 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559.
8:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Did you see this? There's video of this event. A save high above the ground in East Texas. People trapped in a hot air balloon on the top of a tower.
Fire officials in Longview, Texas say 2 people were trapped after their hot air balloon collided with a cell tower, leaving them dangling in the basket as it swung back and forth in the wind more than 900 feet up. First responders scaled the tower to reach them. Both were conscious and uninjured.
You have something to say?
Nope. That's all. She's 900 feet up. No, thank you.
So it took crews 4 hours to get them lowered little by little from the basket to the ground. The balloon, as we, at least from what we can tell, is still hanging from the tower right now in tatters. A construction company in that area says the priority now is lowering the basket, which has a propane tank inside, because you don't want that sitting in there. So they'll get up there and slowly take it all down. But there's video of them rescuing these 2 people. And what do you do if you're in that hot air balloon and you see the cell tower coming? Okay, let's make sure we're working the wind here a little bit. And
I think those are not that easy to steer, right? I mean,
yes, but I would argue
they're steerable, obviously.
I'm sure
to a degree.
Hot air balloon operator would have a different thought, right? When they, there are
more often
there are
than not,
techniques you can do to
to
help
hot air
the
balloons
situation.
avoid communications towers and other things. Yes, you're right. So they know what they're doing, I suppose, but accidents happen.
Right. In this case, luckily, no one killed
900 feet. You know how high that is? Like,
no, thank you.
Yeah, right. That is a no thank you. 841 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
You know what that reminds me of? Did you ever see that movie Fall, Debbie?
No.
I think it's
What's it about?
It's on Prime now, I think, but it's on one of the streaming services because I saw it pop up. It's about two young women, I should say, who climb a tower and then get stuck up there. It's pretty intense. It's really well done. It's probably 5 or 6 years old.
Okay.
Has
I'll
nothing to
check
do
that
with
out.
balloons, but
put that on your list today, Deb.
Okay. All right, here's what we got going on the road, southbound 43, backing up from Capitol Drive all the way down towards Locust. The westbound side of 94, just west of 27th Street, starts to hit the brakes all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound is backing up from just east of 84th Street all the way to about Hawley Road. Then you're looking good all the way into the Marquette. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Stop in for savings this week at Fleet Farm that'll help put winter in your rear view. Get a free $25 gift card with the purchase of $100 in Columbia, Dickies, Under Armour, or Wrangler clothing. Fire up the flavor with Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets for just $8.99 a bag. And buy 3, get 1 free on Cooper or Goodyear tires with our complete installation package and Resolute Road Hazard policy. Don't miss these limited time deals, only at Fleet Farm. And for even more, go to fleetfarm.com.
WTMJ throwing strikes for a cause. Still time to get in. We're inviting you to come bowling with us. And the money raised by Gruber Law Offices will go to a Milwaukee Diaper Mission. So this is coming up this weekend. It's Saturday at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls. Still time to put your team together for $170. We've got a ton of prizes for people. It's a bowling contest. Or competition is probably the better word. So we'll be bowling. A number of us here from WTMJ will be taking part and saying hello and all of those things. We'll be out there on the lanes. Village Bowl on Saturday in Menominee Falls. If you want to put together a team, we need to hear from you right away. Text BABY to the WTMJ talk and text line. That is 855-616-1620. You can sign up your team at Bowl for Babies.
This is former Wisconsin Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen with a message for my fellow conservatives about online sports betting. Online sports betting is fun. It protects kids against illegal gambling websites, and it generates billions in tax revenue. But today, Madison politicians are considering a secret deal that could give exclusive control of sports betting to one Indian tribe. One Indian tribe making the majority of all the revenue? Our Constitution requires a vote of the people on expanded sports betting, but Madison insiders want secrecy. What's worse, their plan could leave Governor Evers the sole power to negotiate with the tribes. Madison politicians want to bypass our state constitution, and it could mean less accountability with control concentrated with one Indian tribe. Tell Madison, no secret deal on online sports betting. Paid for by Sports Betting Alliance.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
.44 on Wisconsin's Morning News. I truly believe that Milwaukee's performing arts scene is on par with cultural centers anywhere in the country. And for an assortment of reasons, I put my efforts behind that to make sure that remains the case. But we have another case in point of that this week, as Erik, you so generously chose to mention the other day on Wisconsin's Morning News. I have been tapped to co-chair this year's United Performing Arts Fund annual campaign. Goal is $9.5 million. Annually, that's the neighborhood that UPAF attempts to raise. When that money comes into the United Performing Arts Fund, it's then distributed to local theater companies, big and small, across Milwaukee and southeast Wisconsin, so they can continue to do first-class work that stands up to other big markets and big cultural centers. So if you need reassurance that this model is working, I offer this today. Here in Milwaukee, Milwaukee Repertory Theater is hosting arts critics and theater groups from around the country, taking a lead on this. And I'm calling it a summit. They're not, but it's my word. Tell me it's not. Tell me it's not a summit.
The summit is when people come together to discuss certain things.
So this is called From Crisis to Catalyst, Transforming the Regional Theater Landscape. 3 days beginning Wednesday here in Milwaukee. And among those attending, some of the biggest names in regional theater anywhere, including but not limited to. I'll give you some big names to let you know like how this is on par with the finest. Berkeley Repertory Theater, Chicago Shakespeare Theater, Denver Center Theater Company, Florida Studio Theater, Guthrie Theater, Twin Cities, Lincoln Center Theater, New York City, Center Theater Group, Los Angeles, Steppenwolf of Chicago, markets 1, 2, 3 in there. The biggest cultural centers in America coming here to collaborate and learn. And they're here in part because the rep is in position to take a lead on this. We have UPAF, which is this fundraising engine that is the envy of many much bigger cities and communities than ours. This apparatus that we've created more than 50 years ago to fund all of these arts groups and basically to relieve some of the strain and burden of each of them doing their own development work. Now, they all do. They have their own personal donors and things like that, but it takes some of the pressure off of them to have to raise all of that money within their own operations.
Right.
Also acts as a clearinghouse. You support the performing arts, send in your check, they'll take care of keeping everybody healthy. So this is what they're going to be talking about starting this week. I'm going to read here from what I got from the rep on this. 3-day gathering brings together 63 artistic and executive directors representing 43 theaters and organizations for dialogue, reflection, and exploration of new models for collaboration, sustainability, and artistic purpose. Participants will engage in discussions, performances, collaborative sessions, examining the evolving landscape of American theater, including audience engagement, new work, and organizational sustainability. And like I say, others will contribute to this in the positive, saying this is what's working where we are, this is what's working here.
Sure.
But one of the reasons they're coming to Milwaukee is because so much here is working right. And you think about this, like where we are and why it's such a heavy lift for UPAF every year among other individual organizations. $10 million, that's not a small number. Plus, on top of that, you have Milwaukee Rep, just spent some $70 million to rebuild the Associated Bank Theater Center. Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra, not that long ago, had the rebuilt Bradley Symphony Center. Milwaukee Ballet has a beautiful, newer facility in the 3rd Ward. Skylight continues to operate the Broadway Theater Center. First Stage in Milwaukee, Milwaukee Youth Arts Center. Next Act and Renaissance Theater Works have their own stage and theater space, and they're making it. Not saying it's not a battle or that fundraising doesn't get tough from time to time, but they're making it, and all of this is possible because we decide it is. Like, we decide this is what we want. Would we, if we didn't have UPAF, would we still have theater? We would.
Sure.
Would we still have a ballet? Maybe, right? But would we have these things in the abundance that we do, and the education programs that they put on, and the number of shows or dance opportunities, MSO, all, would we have it in the abundance that we do at the quality that we do? And the answer is surely no. So I really am interested in what some of these other theater companies, artistic directors from Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, what do they see here? I'm always interested in their perspective because they're the ones who often tell us, they look at us and say, like, you guys don't know or understand how good it is here because you're from here and you think you're little old Milwaukee, and we're here to tell you from market 1, 2, and 3, you're doing it right. So I plan to in some way get over there and connect with some of these folks.
Schmooze with them a little bit.
I'm just interested in what do they see here, and then say nice things about us, and I think they will. So that is going on later this week at Milwaukee Repertory Theater. 8:49 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Debbie, one more time before 9 o'clock.
All right. Well, we do still have some delays southbound on 43 just into the Marquette. It's nothing major, but just a couple taps on the brakes. We got westbound 94 backing up from about 35th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And then on eastbound 94, we got backups from 84th Street to Hawley Road. The rest of the system's looking great. I'm Debbie Lahaziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Potential is like God's love. It lives within everyone and shows us that we are made for more. At Og Prep, Faith ignites excellence in academics, the arts, athletics, and every aspect of our lives. Students don't just realize their full potential, we learn to soar. The #1 K-12 school in Milwaukee is expanding to the North Shore and is now enrolling grades K4 through 6th and 9th. Og Prep North, made for more. Apply today at ogprep.org.
Definitely going to start happening again. Maybe it happened to you Friday when we popped that really nice day. I've got another Friday with a high of 58 degrees, and you'll start to see the bugs reemerge. Vince Vitrano here for the Bug Man and Queen Bee. Spring not that far off either, and this is the time when the bugs that have spent the winter nesting in your home start to come out, and you see them in the surfaces, maybe on the kitchen sink or along the baseboards. It's super gross. Sorry about that, but we can get it taken care of right away. You support a local, veteran-owned and operated business. It's Adam over there. He's the bug man himself. It's his family business. He and his team can come out and do an indoor creepy crawly eliminator service right now that will take care of the bugs that are already inside. Looking ahead, you can start thinking about your spring exterior treatment that will keep the bugs from coming back in. Support local, support veterans, and keep your home bug-free. Tell Julie over there when you call that Vinny sent you. BugmanQueenBee.com.
So, Dad, what gives with the square pizzas?
Well, Marty wanted to be different, but little did he know that he was giving everyone a real value. We figured it out. Our 12-inch square pizza covers 27% more space than a 12-inch round.
A bigger pizza and a better value.
Yep, 27% more.
Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
And martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Register online for Red Card Loyalty, and after 15 pizzas, you'll get your next one free!
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Eric Clapton coming to Milwaukee announced this morning that Clapton will play Fiserv on September 13th. He's got a tour that's going to kick off. He's going to be in Detroit, Chicago, and making a stop here in Milwaukee again in September. Eric Clapton.
Slow hand.
Coming on in.
8:53 on Wisconsin's Morning News. What we're going to do in the next hour, we'll get back into the Iran story. U.S. and Iran engaged, the U.S. and Israel engaged in continued attacks on Iran, counterattacks continuing overnight from Iran, hitting targets outside of that country. Other Arab states have been targeted. Some of those targets appear to have been civilian. We also know that 4 U.S. service members now are confirmed dead in separate incidents. I think it was 3 in the one, and then another service member who'd been injured is now confirmed dead. This morning we heard that from... And I pause here, and would you give me some grace for a moment? I don't know what to call the secretary right now. Secretary Hegseth refers to himself as the Secretary of War. Every official communication we get from the administration comes in from the Department of War, which is what President Trump and his administration have decided to rebrand that part of government. Congress has made no action redesignating the name, so it would still be the Department of Defense and the Secretary of Defense. Can you save your complaints to the text line or the emails or the whatever? Like, the most important thing that we're trying to do here is tell you what's happening with our U.S. military, with our men and women who are in harm's way, what's going on with Iran, where this all goes from here. And I take no political position on whether we call the man Secretary of War or whatever, or Defense. I'm not trying to pick a side. I know somebody called when we had the extended remarks this morning from the Secretary and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. One person was angry that we cut it off after about 25 minutes. And at some point, we wanted to get to other important news today, but also we were going back over some territory that had already been covered. That's when we sort of decided, okay, we'll continue to monitor this through our sources, and we'll bring you the latest.
And did bring some of that back later.
Yes. And then someone also called Pancake and said, how can you put these people on the air and let them do their propaganda? Look, man, I don't know what you want. Even if you are opposed to this administration in every shape, way, and form, you got to hear what they're in charge. Got to hear what they're saying so you know what to be upset about.
Yeah.
If I don't share that with you, how are you going to make your protest signs? So, again, I'm just trying to let you know what's going on here. I have no interest in trying to convince you to think this way or that.
And the reason we ran it as long as we did, which was about like you said, 25 minutes or so, is that Iran has been volleying missiles all over the place, hitting neighbors, hitting other countries, not just anything at Israel. Israel is now throwing missiles into Lebanon, going after Hezbollah. This could be the making of a catastrophic long war, or maybe not. The administration says no, it's not. The administration says it's going to be a couple of weeks. But we have to bring that information to you because it is happening in real time right now.
And we will continue doing that just after 9 o'clock this morning. We're going to check in on the latest from CBS News on that. Where is our correspondent reporting from this morning?
Jerusalem.
She's in Jerusalem, yeah? Okay, So we will go live to that part of the world in the Middle East, let you know what they are seeing there. That is next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The parent company of Milwaukee Bucks broadcaster FanDuel Sports initiates a wind down by issuing layoff notices that all jobs will be eliminated once the regular season ends in April. The Bucks have yet to announce TV plans for next season. Menominee Falls manufacturer TJ Hale closed 1 month ago, and now 2 suppliers file lawsuits seeking nearly $200,000 in unpaid bills. One of those is Timber Creek Resources in Brookfield, which is owed nearly $31,000. Muskego-based Milk Can Hamburgers and Frozen Custard opens a location in downtown Milwaukee. The takeout eatery will be at Paper Table Food Hall on Milwaukee Street. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does. Because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, John Mercure here for Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, quite simply the best in the business. You got a shoulder that's not feeling great. Maybe it's an ankle or a knee. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin and their top-tier doctors can get you feeling how you deserve to feel. My wife, Michelle, had a back issue. OHOW put her in a great place. She's on the mend. She's feeling better. She's doing all the things that she wants to do. Start at the website, ohow.com, ohow.com. Request an appointment. Start your journey to feeling better with the best. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
Parents can expect to use 2,500 to 3,000 diapers in a baby's first year. The Milwaukee Diaper Mission has distributed over 1.4 million diapers and other supplies for families just last year alone. This is WTMJ's Kristen Bry. Join me for WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies, where we will raise funds for Milwaukee Diaper Mission. You can be part of it. Text BABY to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620, to support our WTMJ Cares effort.
They need all the luck of the Irish. All we need is
KPJ. Kevin Porter Jr. wiggles free in the corner, hits the three and draws the foul.
the Bucks take on the Celtics at Fiserv Forum.
Porter stuffs it down with one hand and shrugs his shoulder after the fact.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6 on the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
9 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, March 2nd, our top story. More strikes and destruction in the Middle East.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A hospital shooting in downtown Milwaukee.
Your Storm Team forecast. Skies mostly sunny today with a high of 39 degrees, low of 30 overnight. Tomorrow, a high of 41. Right now, Milwaukee's at 31. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, just getting word that President Trump is expected to, was that going to be a news conference or a brief the nation?
At least an address to the nation,
Yes.
if nothing more. That would be at 10 a.m. Central Time today.
And millions in the Middle East, meanwhile, caught in the crossfire as tensions with Iran continue to ramp up following the weekend's joint strikes from Israel and the U.S. ABC's James Longman is in Turkey.
Neighbors across the region dragged into the chaos. Iranian missiles and drones have now struck at least 10 countries in the Middle East and Mediterranean. Civilian targets caught in the crossfire. The Fairmont Hotel in Dubai struck. Dubai and Abu Dhabi, major tourism destinations and financial hubs in the United Arab Emirates, now on essential lockdown.
On Capitol Hill, the debate centers on a lack of congressional authorization for the strikes. The U.S. House and Senate expected to vote later this week on war powers measures.
Meanwhile, the FBI continues its investigation into a mass shooting in Austin, Texas. Happened early Sunday morning. They believe it could have been triggered by the strikes in the Middle East.
Sources tell me that in addition to wearing a T-shirt with the Iranian flag, the FBI has also recovered evidence suggesting that the suspects supported Iranian leadership and the regime's ideology. If true, this is precisely the kind of assault that U.S. law enforcement is most worried about at this time.
ABC's Pierre Thomas.
2 people shot early this morning inside a hospital in downtown Milwaukee.
Milwaukee police are investigating a double shooting inside Aurora Sinai Medical Center near 12th and State. Officers responded just after 2:15 Monday morning. A 40-year-old man is being treated for life-threatening injuries, while a 38-year-old man suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Police arrested a 37-year-old man in connection with the shooting and say there is no ongoing threat to the public. Aurora Healthcare says staff worked closely with law enforcement and that care is being provided to those affected. The hospital remains open. At Aurora Sinai Medical Center, Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
2 people dead following a house fire in Brookfield.
Fire crews responded to Brookdale Drive early Saturday morning, where 2 people and a dog were trapped inside the home. 1 person and the dog died at the scene, and the second person later died at the hospital. Our news partners at TMJ4 say family has identified the victims as 66-year-old Thomas Wall, 26-year-old Dylan Wall, and their dog Django. 3 police officers were taken to the hospital with injuries. Brookfield Fire and Police Departments are still investigating the cause of the fire. They do not believe it is suspicious. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Teenager from Milwaukee in custody after a series of vehicle break-ins and then 2 early morning chases in New Berlin. This was early Saturday. New Berlin police now confirming they responded to multiple reports of vehicle burglaries. And so officers were investigating, tried to stop a car that appeared to be leaving that area. The driver fled, was eventually stopped after hitting a tire deflation device. That driver, just 17 years old, was arrested. No injuries reported.
The U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments today in a major Second Amendment case challenging a federal law that bars unlawful drug users from possessing firearms. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
In this case, the government is arguing that the law is constitutional because under Bruin, there is in fact a historical tradition of disarming people whose habitual substance use may pose public safety risks.
The case tests how far gun rights extend under the court's decision back in 2022 expanding the right to carry.
The last dance before the Oscars, the Actor Awards. Now, we used to call them the SAG Awards, Screen Actors Guild. They just call it the Actor Awards now. It took place last night.
I'm indeed a lucky guy.
An emotional Harrison Ford accepting the Life Achievement Award at the Actor Awards on a night that also saw a moving speech from Michael B. Jordan.
This ride has been unbelievable.
Walking off with the award for Best Male Actor in a leading role for... The period horror film also getting Best Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture.
Who will win?
And Jessie Buckley, the winner for lead actress as William Shakespeare's embattled wife in Hamnet. Matt Wolf, CBS News.
News about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Stocks are down, but have rebounded some since the bell this morning. The Dow is currently off 184, the NASDAQ down 74, and the S&P is down 20.
Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
3 generations ago, it was about doing one thing and doing it right.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, floors that had to last because our name, Adair, was on them. Over time, homeowners asked us to do more. Kitchens, bathrooms, full remodels. And so our name changed to Adair Floors and Remodeling.
But flooring has always been the foundation, literally.
And it's something the next generation already understands.
Hi, I'm Ava. Hi, I'm Quinn. My dad does floors.
From hardwood and luxury vinyl plank to tile and carpet, we handle selection, layout, and professional installation.
And because we also remodel homes, we know how flooring works with everything else. Transitions, finishes, and long-term durability.
When you hire Adair, you're getting experience you can stand on and people who will be here for decades to come.
Call my dad. Bye-bye.
Adair Floors and Remodeling. Built on flooring, trusted for remodels. 3 generations, 1 standard. Call us at 414-761-3660 for your free flooring estimate.
Hey beauties, you're invited to swing by your local Merle Norman for a fabulous eye-catching gift with purchase that's sure to make you sparkle. What's inside this gift? Only the essentials for eye perfection. Trial sizes of Brilliancy Eye Cream, eyeshadow primer, a soft touch eyeshadow duo, and soft touch eye pencil. Hurry, these goodies are only good while supplies last at Merle Norman Cosmetics Salon and Spa at Brookfield Square. Free with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products. Cosmetic accessories not included. Offer valid while supplies last at participating Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios only. Limit 1 per customer. We reserve the right to modify the gift if needed. Promotion not available at merlenorman.com.
They need all the luck of the Irish. All we need is
KPJ. Kevin Porter Jr. wiggles free in the corner, hits the 3 and draws the foul.
the Bucks face off against the Boston Celtics at Fiserv Forum.
Porter stuffs it down with one hand and shrugs his shoulder after the fact.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6 on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Milwaukee Bucks return home tonight facing the Boston Celtics. Struggles in the second half for the Bucks as they somehow found a way to lose to the Chicago Bulls, who are a bad team to begin with. We got boat raced 120-97, and we were up how many?
Up 16 and then let in a 27-0 run by the Bulls. Which seems like almost a record.
It's really hard to do, to not accidentally score one bucket or get a free throw or anything. Doc?
When you approach the game and play like that, you don't deserve to win. If we had won the game, I'd have been upset. I'd have taken the win because we need it. But that is not how you play basketball.
Coverage of Bucks and Celtics tonight, 6 p.m. right here on WTMJ. Men's college basketball, Marquette lost again, this time at home to DePaul, 62-51. The Horizon League tournament gets underway tonight. Cleveland State hosting IU Indy. UW Milwaukee hits the road Wednesday, facing Detroit Mercy in the first round. And women's college hoops, Wisconsin lost at home to 9th-ranked Iowa, 81-52. They begin Big Ten tournament play later this week. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Roads are looking really good at the moment. You'll see, of course, the typical slowdowns by the construction near the stadium, but otherwise good to go.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast includes one day where we might be scraping 60. Mostly sunny today, high of 39. Low down to 30 tonight under increasing clouds. For tomorrow, chance of rain. Skies mostly cloudy, high 41. Wednesday's high 44 with a chance of rain in the afternoon and evening hours. Thursday, rain is likely, high 46. And Friday, high of 58, but rain likely. Right now at 31.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
President Trump ensures that our enemies understand we'll go as far as we need to go to advance American interests. But we're not dumb about it. You don't have to roll 200,000 people in there and stay for 20 years.
Pete Hegseth this morning speaking from the Pentagon after a weekend in the Middle East with many bombs dropped, attacks underway still this morning from some areas. We have a little bit of an update. We do know that we expect to hear from the president. What's the situation with the president? We expect to hear...
We're hearing 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
And these would be the first live remarks from President Trump regarding the situation in Iran and the attacks in a joint operation with Israel. There were 2 recorded messages that were released over the weekend from the president, but the first time he has been live before the American people in regards to this. 10 o'clock our time.
Joining us on Wisconsin's Morning News right now, live from Jerusalem, is CBS correspondent Linda Gradstein. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning.
What is the if you could set the scene, if you will, at the moment? What is the status as we hear so many different stories of missiles being sent, things happening? Where are we at right now?
Well, missiles have been sent basically since the beginning of the war on Saturday, when it began with apparently an Israeli strike that was done with American intelligence that actually killed the Iranian supreme leader. And Iran had repeatedly threatened to fire missiles and has been firing barrages of missiles on and off since then. So Israelis have been told to stay close to a bomb shelter. Some people have bomb shelters actually in their apartments or houses. Some people have it in their buildings, and some people have to run to public bomb shelters that could be, a few blocks away. Yesterday, an Iranian missile hit a bomb shelter that was also being used as a synagogue, and 9 people were killed, 4 of them teenagers. So that's been sort of the biggest loss so far. The Israeli airspace has been closed since Saturday, as has airspaces in a lot of other countries, Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, and other places. So, there are about 100,000 Israelis who are stranded abroad. There are about 30,000 tourists in Israel who want to get out, and all essential activity has been closed, so that people are basically staying close to home and in and out of the bomb shelter, which, depending on what kind of bomb shelter you have and whether or not you have, for example, young kids, and you have to keep, scooping up young kids and running to a bomb shelter. So there is a sense of the country kind of being on edge.
CBS News correspondent Linda Gradstein is with us from Jerusalem this morning. Linda, I'm so fascinated to know the reaction in some of the other Arab states whom you mentioned have suffered attacks, in some cases on civilian targets. Not that it's acceptable or okay, but Israel is used to taking fire from Iran. These other states are not. And I'm curious to know if you have heard through sourced information what the reaction is there in any of these other nations.
Yes. So, for example, those countries, let's say, the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain, Kuwait, the airspace is shut down as well. They don't have bomb shelters. I actually spoke earlier to a friend of mine who's still on a cruise ship in Dubai. They were supposed to leave for a cruise, and she's on that ship in the harbor in Dubai and is kind of stuck. And so I don't think there's panic in a lot of these other countries, but people are told to stay close to home, to stay away from windows. There was an attack on a hotel in Dubai. There was an attack on the airport in Kuwait and Bahrain. So this really is something new for a lot of these countries.
Meanwhile, Israel is going after Hezbollah, correct, in Lebanon?
Yes, well, Hezbollah joined the conflict. Israel and Hezbollah fought a war as part of the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza, which started on October 7th, 2023, and Israel remains in control of half of Gaza today. President Trump, in fact, has a whole plan on how to rebuild Gaza. There were something like 70,000 people killed in Gaza. In Lebanon, Israel had reached a ceasefire agreement with Hezbollah, which, of course, is funded and is really kind of a proxy of Iran. And overnight, Hezbollah fired some missiles at Israel. Israel is responding with heavy strikes on Hezbollah. The Lebanese government has said that it does not want Hezbollah to keep firing, so it'll be interesting to see. Part of the ceasefire was that Hezbollah was supposed to be disarmed, which obviously has not happened.
Do we know the situation in the Strait of Hormuz, and whether or not oil is going to make it through there?
Well, apparently the Strait of Hormuz is closed, and in fact, oil prices have already begun to rise. So, it's a question of how long this is going to go on. Is this going to be a week or two or longer? President Trump is really the one making the decision, and he has kind of, first he said it would be a few days, and now he's talking about a few weeks. In Israel, they really want the war to continue until there's regime change in Iran. They feel that it's an opportunity to kind of remake the Middle East. And as we just spoke about, these other countries, which are Sunni Arab countries, are basically in the same position as Israel for the first time. So I think that while Israel, obviously, people don't love running to bomb shelters and there have been casualties, there's a sense that it's an opportunity to kind of remake the Middle East. Whether President Trump intends to keep going with the war to that extent, or who's going to replace the supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, the Israeli strike apparently killed dozens of senior Iranian officials as well. So it's not clear who's left, who's in charge in Iran. And Israel would like to see, obviously, a different regime than the one that has been in power until now.
Sets up perfectly my final question for you. And we're talking with Linda Gradstein, CBS News correspondent in Jerusalem this morning. If there is to be a negotiated end to the strikes at some point, with whom does the U.S. or Israel even negotiate? You mentioned the supreme leader. Once that person is taken out, far more powerful as a head of state than most other nations, right? So, who even is calling the shots? And if there is to be a negotiated end, Linda, with whom do we negotiate?
Well, there are still members of the Iranian military and the Revolutionary Guards who were still in place, and I think they have appointed somebody as sort of Khamenei's successor, but I think it's just too early to tell. I think that's a good question, and that's why, there's a question of who do you talk to? How do you reach a negotiated end to this? And then what does that mean for the future of Iran? Again, we have to remember this is coming just about, a month after we saw these widespread protests in Iran against the regime, and thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of people were killed in those protests. So I think nobody really knows at this point who you would talk to, but that's certainly a good question.
CBS reporter Linda Gradstein, live from Jerusalem. Thank you, Linda.
Sure, thank you.
9:18 on Wisconsin's Morning News. The president, we're hearing from the White House, he is scheduled to speak at 10 a.m. our time this morning, so we intend here on WTMJ to cover that speech if and when it starts at 10 o'clock.
I think the other fascinating question that you posed as we were talking about this earlier is, okay, regime change, maybe that was the intention. Secretary Head said it wasn't. There were other military objectives, didn't want Iran to start a nuclear program, wanted to knock out its ballistic missile program, all these other things. Yeah. But either way, you could well have regime change. How does that happen? As we went into Afghanistan, we tried to help, the U.S. tried to help build that.
Right.
You had that in Iraq as well. The U.S., and it doesn't sound like this president, this administration has any appetite to do that. Fair enough. But then what do? You lay the place to rubble, take out the top leadership, and then say, so go ahead, here you go, take your country back. How does that work?
I mean, it's apples and oranges, but imagine that happening here. If there was a moment where some foreign adversary announced to us, the U.S., okay, well, you can have your country back now. You go ahead and start a new leadership. Like that.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
how does that start?
Now, granted, again,
who emerges as leaders?
Apples and oranges. I'm not suggesting there's anything the same there, but there would be that question. I'm sure there's a lot of fear right now, wondering who is going to actually take the mantle and whether or not that person should be taking the mantle.
Coming up on 9:20, again, we will carry the president's remarks live when that happens. We're expecting 10 o'clock our time.
Potential is like God's love. It lives within everyone and shows us that we are made for more. At Aug Prep, faith ignites excellence in academics, the arts, athletics, and every aspect of our lives. Students don't just realize their full potential, we learn to soar. The #1 K-12 school in Milwaukee is expanding to the North Shore and is now enrolling grades K4 through 6th and 9th. Aug Prep North, made for more. Apply today at augprep.org.
At Capri Communities, they believe people of every age deserve to enjoy life.
I recently moved my dad into a Capri community. He has gained such new independence. His falls have decreased, he's eating healthy meals, and going on great new adventures. Knowing Dad is in a great place really gives me the peace of mind I needed. And now, we're both enjoying life again.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again at Capri Communities. Get started today at capricommunities.com.
Hi, it's David Nason from The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Every Saturday morning, we talk about keeping your home in top shape. One issue I hear all the time, wet basements and foundation problems.
And that's where Accurate Basement Repair comes in. I'm Chris Mancuso, and for over 20 years, we've been The Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing.
Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Visit AccurateBasementRepair.com.
Accurate Basement Repair.
We're not just good, we're accurate. Catch Accurate Basement Repair on The Fix-It Show and WTMJ.com.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but the way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for more than 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
9:22 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Happy Monday!
It's time to look at the week ahead.
What a Monday morning.
The week ahead on Wisconsin's Morning News, all of the things, all of the news, all of the expectations, the scheduled things, the unexpected, all of it.
Right, you're going to bring me the unexpected. That would be
it'd be tougher.
A new AI feature to the week ahead. Why don't you just tell me what's going to be in the news?
Construction. Road construction along I-43 in Sheboygan County starts today. Now, it's going to be minimal traffic impact this first week as they do some of the stuff on the sides. Trees there, though. So this is like from Oostburg to Sheboygan, that little stretch there. But you will notice the activity starting today, and then they're going to start doing more closures in the coming weeks. So be prepared for that on I-43 in Sheboygan County. Meanwhile, I-94, you're going to see some overnight closures as they continue to take down some of those bridges and do the work by the stadium there.
Only about 6 years and 7 months away from finishing.
Nikita Kasap will be sentenced this week. So this is the former Waukesha West High School student who pleaded guilty to killing his mother and his stepfather as part of a plan to assassinate the president. He'll be sentenced on Thursday. Again, he agreed to a plea deal. He could see life in prison still on all this. So that'll be on Thursday. Also this week, a total lunar eclipse will be visible in our area, Asia, Australia, Pacific Islands, and the Americas. So it says here, if I'm looking this up correctly, it'll be early Tuesday morning around 3:50 a.m., a total lunar eclipse, a blood moon, as it were.
Does that look cool or no?
I think it looks cool.
It's not on par with a solar eclipse.
Agreed,
okay,
but still something neat to see.
There's something to see?
Yeah, turns red. It's clear sky. No clear sky on Saturday to see all the planets lined up. That didn't work out.
Oh, yeah, you were looking forward to that.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
No?
Apple hosted special Apple Experience events this week. Number of products the company will be releasing. Some reports have suggested that Apple may announce a number of new products ahead of that event. We will see. A formal remembrance ceremony for Reverend Jesse Jackson takes place in Washington, D.C. That's on Wednesday. Then the final private stuff's going to take place in Chicago this weekend. They're not done in Italy. The 2026 Milan Cortina Winter Paralympic Games begin this week. That'll take place ahead of the opening ceremonies, which is coming up this weekend. The World Baseball Classic kicks off this week as well. So we got a couple of Brewers players participating in that, and that'll always be fun. So that no games the next couple of days too, right? Because of that? As far as like no Brewers
Yeah,
stuff?
Brewers play again on Wednesday. We've got the Cubs at spring training. But yeah, we've got 9 big leaguers, some minor leaguers as well from the Brewers organization that are involved in the World Baseball Classic. Bryce Terang is our Team USA guy.
Anime Milwaukee, 3-day anime convention at the Baird Center this weekend. We might have to ask our anime correspondent to join us on the program. That would not
Jaslyn?
be. No, it's not Jaslyn. Actually, she suggested somebody else. So I'll share that with you once I lock in that correspondent.
Right.
But it is someone.
You want to tease something that we can't
Yeah,
deliver.
right. Well, we'll see. American Idol. Now, normally this is not something that we give any attention to, right? We're not usually all fired up about American Idol stuff.
Isn't it season 407?
Something like that, probably. Anyway, the reason I bring it up is because a local kid is participating, Genevieve Hayward, a native of Lake Geneva.
American Idol is just a great platform for anyone for exposure. It's like almost instant virality. It's just like being able to sing in front of millions of people, which is a beautiful thing. So what I kind of am hoping from American Idol is I'd love for people to go listen to my own music.
So that is Hayward. She was on What's on Tap with Sandy Max last week. So tonight it's Hollywood night. She will be on.
It was amazing. I mean, when Carrie stood, I literally was like, what is happening? Because I've been singing Carrie Underwood songs since I was a little girl.
Yeah, so pretty neat to, if you're infatuated with a singer and then that singer is helping you get to Hollywood. So good luck to Genevieve tonight on the big program. Guess what we do on Saturday night? We spring ahead.
Oh, man.
Yes. So normally, any other year, we'd probably be talking about this more. There'd be like actually a threat of an executive order to like eliminate it or something, but there's a lot of other things going on in the world right now, so maybe this will take a back seat this year. But spring ahead is Saturday night.
Just double checking my calendar, make sure it was on there.
Yeah.
And this is the one that you really got to pay attention to, because it's one thing if you forget to fall back, right? And then you're just early for everything on Sunday. This one, you're late for church if you forget.
I'm sure it's
watch out
happening.
now.
So spring ahead on Saturday at the movies.
After years of work, this revolutionary technology gives us unprecedented access to the animal world.
So let me get this straight. You created a fake animal.
Yes.
Which makes the other animals think you're an animal.
Yes.
Guys, this is like Avatar.
This is nothing like Avatar.
Piper Curda and Bobby Moynihan star in Hoppers, Pixar movie. So basically, it's Mabel. She's an animal lover who seizes an opportunity to use new tech to hop her consciousness into a robotic animal. So she becomes a beaver and she meets all these other animals and hilarity ensues. It's Pixar, so I always give Pixar at least a little bit more attention to, if you will, because they tend to have some creativity in their story writing.
Mm-hmm.
Just we'll see if Hoppers is the real deal or if it's just Avatar.
It sounds funny.
Yeah. Christian Bale also stars in The Bride, which is about Frankenstein's bride, if that's something you're interested in this
Frankenstein.
weekend. I'm sorry, Frankenstein's bride. How do you say bride in German?
The
weekend.
Frau.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then offering personalized support. They provide families and individuals with things like furniture, beds, food, clothing, and connect them to vital community resources. Help that provides stability during challenging times. These home visits don't just address an immediate need, they help create a safer, more stable future for our families and individuals in our community. Last year alone, St. Vincent de Paul Society volunteers completed nearly 11,000 home visits across Milwaukee County, serving those who need us most. Together, we are neighbors helping neighbors. To learn more about our mission or get involved, visit svdpmilw.org.
Vince Vitrano here. Had a great talk with my HVAC guy, Ryan, at Urban Heating and Cooling the other day. Was out with Ryan and his wife, Ellie. It's their family-owned business, and they were telling me big companies are coming in and buying up more and more operations like theirs. And what he told me next made me kind of sad, but also made me proud that Urban Heating and Cooling is one of our partners here, that I recommend them to you. Said oftentimes the companies come in, they immediately raise all their rates, and then they hire what they call in the business sales techs, not service techs, sales techs. These are guys who aren't there to take care of you. They're there to sell you stuff, expensive fixes, and new units. Now, if you need a new furnace or an AC unit, Ryan at Urban Heating and Cooling can give you a fair price and an estimate up front, but he's never going to try to sell you something you don't need. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call. It's urbanheatingandcooling.com.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margot Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
That's a lie. I'm going to Potawatomi if I can get there.
Bill!
I got bit by one, and I liked it.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
I don't even know what that means.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. At least 10 countries in the Middle East and Mediterranean have been hit by missiles from Iran following the weekend joint U.S. strikes that toppled buildings and took the life of the country's supreme leader. The president telling ABC's Jonathan Karl he expects the bombardments to last at least a month. ABC's Gio Benitez with more on what a prolonged war might mean for energy prices.
The cost of oil, we're looking at about 11% higher in U.S. trading at more than $72 a barrel. So clearly there is an impact that we're seeing right away. We're also hearing about oil refineries that are just halting production right now in the region because they're afraid of attacks. We know that Iranian drones were trying to attack a Saudi oil refinery, and we know that another refinery has said, you know what, we're just going to halt production.
Many countries are scrambling to bring their citizens home from the region. Jordan partially closing its airspace. Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Doha all hit by Iranian strikes. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:33.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, in Milwaukee, police investigating a double shooting that happened early this morning inside a downtown hospital.
An early morning shooting inside Aurora Sinai Medical Center near 12th and State leaves one man fighting for his life. Police were called around 2:15 a.m. Monday. A 40-year-old victim is hospitalized with life-threatening injuries. A second man, 38, is expected to survive. A 37-year-old suspect is in custody, and investigators say there is no active danger to the public. Aurora Healthcare says it partnered with police in response to the incident and confirms the medical center remains open. At Aurora Sinai Medical Center, Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
A deadly house fire in Brookfield. Crews responding to Brookdale Drive early Saturday over the weekend. 2 people killed. A dog also died from that fire. Still looking into a cause.
State utility regulators have ordered Alliant Energy to file a new application for custom data center electric rates. The Public Service Commission said the utility's original submission for the Meta Data Center campus in Beaver Dam left out too many details. Clean Wisconsin's Amy Barrio.
The proposed contract does not include clean energy or demand response requirements that would help lessen the environmental harms of the project. It doesn't guarantee long enough commitment to protect other customers.
Alliant's new application shows it will supply up to 220 megawatts to the data center campus for a term of 10 years, numbers which were both redacted in the original proposal. Drivers in Wisconsin for a Walmart delivery service getting financial relief from a multi-state settlement.
Attorney General Josh Call says Walmart and its delivery service Spark Driver will be paying over $600,000 to Wisconsin as part of the settlement. The big box retailer is accused of withholding tips from the delivery drivers and changing pay after orders were accepted. Wisconsin was one of 11 states, along with the Federal Trade Commission, that sued Walmart. In total, the settlement is for $100 million. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Going to be a busy week on I-94. Multiple overnight closures are tied to bridge demolition and pavement repairs.
As crews continue the bridge removal on the east leg of I-94, the DOT's Erik says
the concrete deck over the freeway is completely removed, and over the next few nights we're working to remove those steel girders that remain out there.
More work continues later in the week.
We do have a lot of repair work that we're going to do to maintain that existing freeway, and that'll happen Thursday and Friday night.
All closures are scheduled for overnight before reopening for the morning commute. Debbie Laziga, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A little over an hour past the opening bell, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down about 0.5%, 263 points to 48,714. S&P 500 is at 68.45. That's down about 0.5%. And the NASDAQ down 82 points to 22,589. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
We are following some breaking news on the interstate at the moment. WTMJ Time Saver traffic. So 4145 northbound, north of the zoo, is closed. All lanes closed, getting directed off at Watertown Plank. Now, this is being told because of an incident. That's sheriff speak for they're obviously covering something that would be different than a crash. Now, we can see squads blocking the roadways. We can see some sheriff's deputies standing on the roadway as well there as traffic is being directed off. Oftentimes, something like this it isn't always, but it can be because of a report of shots fired on the interstate. Have not confirmed that, but that is something like this would be what would occur, I should say. In this case, obviously, we got our crews working on it, so we'll get you updated as soon as we get it. But 4145 northbound shut down at Watertown Plank as they investigate.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly sunny skies today, high of 39 degrees, increasing clouds and a low of 30 tonight. Chance of rain tomorrow, mostly cloudy, high 41. Wednesday, a chance of rain in the afternoon or evening hours with a high of 44. Thursday, rain likely with a high of 46. And Brendan Johnson over TMJ4 has rain likely on Friday as well with a high of 58 degrees. Right now at 31.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Vince Vitrano for Horner Plumbing. Time to start thinking about your sump pump. I talked about all the rain that we're going to get this week. Did you know most sump pumps only last 7 to 10 years? How long yours been going? You do not want to wait for these spring storms to answer that question for you. My team at Horner Plumbing can install a new unit for you or inspect the one you have and make sure it's going to do the job that you're counting on it to do. Keep your basement dry. No more nervously waiting out storms hoping you don't lose power either. Horner Plumbing can install a battery backup on your sump pump system that will keep it running even when the lights are out. Imagine not having to worry when you're out of town or when it's been a while and the power's not coming back and that tank is filling up. Get ready for spring with the preferred plumbing company since 1969. Erin at Horner says she'll knock $100 off if you tell them Vinny sent you. HornerPlumbing.com.
Hey, Monday and Tuesday can be a real challenge, right?
Make it easier with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love easy, and I love the Fox and Hounds. It's a top choice award winner for fine dining and most romantic restaurant. Plus, when you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free. Enjoy a choice steak, the twin lobster tails, the braised pork shank. How about ribs, pasta, seafood, even a big, huge, fresh salad? Any entree, your second dinner is free. Dessert and ice cream drinks, I love those. Also, buy one, get one free. Buy two, get two free. Buy for the table. 4 desserts, get 4 free. Relax with a cocktail, over 20 bourbons, 100 wines. Old World Bar is elegant, 8 beautiful dining rooms. Wherever you live, it's worth a beautiful drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest to the Fox and Hounds. Start your week with a free dinner at the award-winning Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. Tables are open, serving from 4. Dine early at the Fox and Hounds.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, trying to get you more information on why the freeway is shut down just north of the Zoo Interchange. So if you're hitting the Zoo Interchange and you want to go to the medical complex or to Mayfair, you're heading north up to Menominee Falls and that on I-41-45. We have authorities that have shut down the northbound lanes. Southbound seems to be going fine, but northbound lanes there at Watertown Plank Road. So they are diverting all traffic off the freeway. And we don't know why.
Right. They're calling it an incident, which is different than a crash. And it would appear that you're not heading north until Center Street, getting back on the interstate. Now, this is obviously a fluid situation. The sheriff's office has other things they're dealing with right now than responding to our phone calls as they process this scene and take care of it. But it is something we're keeping an eye on. That they said would appear that there are several ramps that are not open at the moment as you're trying to head north on 4145.
Yeah, I'm looking at if the map is accurate from the DOT where they show us where things are shut down. It looks like if you're headed into the Zoo Interchange and trying to turn to go northbound, they're shutting you down there as well. They're not allowing you to do that. So say you're headed towards downtown Milwaukee and you want to turn north through the Zoo Interchange, that ramp is not open either.
But it's nasty. You are hardly moving, as I'm sure you know. And it would appear everyone's getting off on Watertown Plank, and that's not a high traffic area. I mean, it can handle a little bit of a congestion, but it's going to be very slow for the time being. But we have seen the sheriff's deputies out of their vehicles, at least at that spot where it's blocked off. We saw them standing there. They're still kind of just standing in that stretch. Now, when they're outside the vehicles like that, not sure if that means they're going to be there a while. You would think that usually, if this would be quick, they'd be sitting in their squads, but they got multiple squads blocking that stretch, 4145 north.
And what we can't see is the incident that they're looking at. So this is just where what we're seeing on our Department of Transportation cameras is where they've got things closed off at Watertown Plank, but it would appear that whatever incident this is far away from that point, especially given it's not like you're open back up at North Avenue, like you said. It could be further down, and they're just diverting here because this is multiple lanes on that exit as opposed to trying to dump everybody off on Highway 100 there, because that's a single lane, I think, exit as you get off just past or just before North Avenue. Then you got the North Avenue exit that's not real easy either. So maybe they just thought this was better for dispersing the traffic, send people over to Highway 100 that way, and continue on northbound, but you got to get past Center Street if you want to get around it.
So we have crews working on it. We are, as soon as we hear from the sheriff's office on this, of course, we'll bring that information to you, or if we get something before it, obviously we'll let you know.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for QC Kinetics. So how you feel about feeling older faster than you should, right? You're kind of like, oh, God, my shoulder, my back. Oh, I don't want to do this. Oh, the Johnsons are calling. They want to go hang out, but we can't do that. They're older than us, but for whatever reason, they want to do all these things because they don't have the pain that you're dealing with. Why is that? Well, maybe they use QC Kinetics. It might be worth asking them. QC Kinetics can help you with that bulky knee or that sore shoulder or those hips or the back. Help you now so you can live your life and feel your own age, or who knows, maybe even younger. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559. You can talk to the local clinicians and find out what QC Kinetics can do for you using their regenerative treatments backed by real science, treatments that take the tiny, powerful healing tools inside your body and help you get the relief you need without going under the knife. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-667-5559.
Do you have a spot that's too cold in the winter, but if you jack up the heat, the rest of the house is too warm? Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. Time to get Jeff and his team out to your house. Proper insulation from USA forms a thermal barrier that maintains warmth in the winter and coolness in the summer. Time to get in on thousands of dollars of government efficiency credits. Jeff and his team at USA Insulation find the grants, rebates, reductions, and they discount the cost of your project up front. Get started at usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
.45 on Wisconsin's Morning News. You know, The Wiz is coming to town, actually.
Is that right?
It's in the Broadway series at Marcus Performing Arts Center.
They should have The Miz. He can't throw out the first pitch,
should.
but what could he do there to...
He's got it right. Would that be amazing? I wonder if that coincides. I thought it was later this month. I think they're still in spring training. I'll get that for you. Because that's not why we're playing the song. We are talking about Jacob Mizorowski, the 23-year-old. Brought so many Brewers fans in this community a lot of joy through the summer. Outshined some of his veteran counterparts in the postseason. Jacob Mizorowski, the fireballing pitcher for the Brewers, who now carries a bit more weight on his shoulders as he enters this second season of big league ball, tells WTMJ's Julia Fellow. Julia's gotten to know Miz a little bit, and she talked with him about his great inspiration, his father.
Strike one, and off we go. 100-mile-an-hour fastball to start the career for the Miz.
Standing at 6'7", 197 pounds, and babyface, Jacob Mizorowski arrived in Milwaukee with a bang last summer, and he hasn't slowed down since.
Runs all the way to the bag and then flexes at the crowd. The Miz.
The 23-year-old rookie quickly became one of Major League Baseball's most electrifying young arms.
5 scoreless and no hit innings from the Brewers right-hander in his big league debut.
Giving play-by-play broadcasters plenty to talk about.
0-2 pitch. Struck him out with a changeup. That was filthy. Swing and a miss. Paez is gone. 1-0-1 on the fastball from Mizorowski.
The rookie quickly captured national attention with his incredible 104-mile-an-hour fastball.
The 0-1 to Tucker. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 104. Goodness.
How does he do it? It's hard for even him to explain.
I really don't know. I mean, I kind of just do it, I guess, is the right way to put it. And I think there's a lot of whip and a lot of torque that comes on the shoulder and stuff like that.
He's already feeling the heat, getting into the All-Star game after playing just 5 Major League games.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, I think, some of the guys have a something out for you, if you want to say that.
He says that moment lit a fire, carrying him through the playoff push.
Here in October, first pitch to Kyle Tucker in there with a strike on a fastball at 103.4. It is 0-1. I would say he's a little juiced up for postseason baseball.
Through it all, one person has been watching closely, his dad, Tom.
I usually tell him, how to step, how to drive.
There you go.
This fall, the two sat side by side for a special event raising money for the Wisconsin Parkinson Association. Tom was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in his 30s when Jacob was just a boy. The family first knew something was wrong during a simple everyday moment.
Well, my first symptoms was when I was brushing my teeth in the bathroom and my hands started shaking.
Parkinson's is a progressive neurodegenerative disease. Tremors can be an early sign, so can stiffness or slow movement. For Tom, the disease eventually forced him to step away from his job as an
I
electrician.
didn't really think about it, anything different, and I thought that's just the way it was. Everyone's dad was always at home all the time, going to practices and doing all that stuff.
But if Parkinson's took something away, it also brought father and son closer together.
And Jacob, the first memory with him, I remember he was holding my hand. And I started shaking. He goes, "Don't worry, Dad. I got you."
Jacob says that love of family is what drives him every time he steps on the mound.
The most powerful thing was, realizing that I'm not doing it for me, I'm doing it for them. So.
As this young phenom, The Miz, continues to rise, he's proving his power is not just in his fastball, but in the heart behind it. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out 101. Just blew the heater right past Rodriguez out. And I think my favorite thing is to watch guys' faces after the first time they faced Mizorowski as they walk back to the dugout. And Julio Rodriguez had a little bit of a look of bewilderment, as if to say, did that just happen?
Not much longer. We'll be hearing and seeing all of that again. Brewers have a couple of down days at spring training, play next on Wednesday.
The Miz.
Against the Cubs. A number of Brewers, as we've talked about in sports this morning. I think it's 9 guys from the big league squad. Have some minor leaguers in there also heading out to play the World Baseball Classic.
We are watching a video game right now at American Family Field.
For the Brewers, Tyler, I just didn't know which.
Trying to help you out a little bit.
Bryce Terang is our Brewers representative on Team USA. A number of the Venezuelan guys are headed to play for Venezuela. William Contreras, the catcher. The new guy recently acquired, Angel Zerpa, is from Venezuela. He's playing for the Venezuelan team. And, of course, Jackson Churio, our contingent there. And several other guys headed out. And that begins, I think there are some early games on Wednesday. And then in earnest on Friday, the World Baseball Classic. So we'll be talking about that as we get through the week.
FYI, continuing to monitor the situation on 4145 northbound. All lanes shut down. You're being diverted off at Watertown Plank just north of the zoo. If you can avoid the area, best to do so.
Yes, Toradol is considered a strong pain reliever. It's one of the most potent non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs available. And absolutely, hyaluronic acid is used to treat shoulder, hip, elbow, and knee pain. It's a lubricating gel-like substance that reduces stiffness and improves mobility. It acts as a lubricant and shock absorber, reducing friction in the joint. And when we pinpoint the root of your pain, and we combine these powerful 100% FDA-approved pain relief medicines, if thousands of patient confirmations tell us anything, you're going to experience pain relief. And because of this, your quality of life increases, and you'll start living better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. There's much more to life that you've been missing because of your pain. This isn't even about taking a chance. It's about taking your first step to living pain-free. Go to rejuvenex.com to schedule your appointment so we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today and there's a good chance we could be seeing you tomorrow.
Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You know, our homes ask a lot of their windows and doors. You got volatile weather, got to be ready for just about anything year-round. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, that's why they're so focused on quality and durability in everything they do. So shouldn't have to make compromises when it comes to being comfortable at home. Right now, here's the deal. 0% interest on your financing for up to 4 years. The right windows and doors make a meaningful difference in your home's comfort, efficiency, and overall style. And with Pella, you get expert recommendations that are designed around your home, what you need, and how you live. They guide you through every step of the way. We've been through this process at my house, helping you choose the right options for your home, your style, and your budget. And here's the deal, 0% interest on your financing until 2032, plus a 10-year limited warranty. That's a decision you can feel confident about long after installation day. Certain restrictions do apply. The offer ends March 31st, 2026. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
2026 Brewers tickets are on sale now. This year, it all kicks off at our house with opening day at home, followed up with a schedule that's absolutely loaded. Throw in the same flair for the dramatic thrills on any given night. Plus Brewers giveaways you won't forget. And you've got a season you're going to have to see to believe. Don't miss a second of Brewers action this year. The crew is back for more. All Brewers tickets for the 2026 season are on sale now at Brewers.com.
Point Taken with Scafidi and Bry.
I think there's generally a lot of discontent among voters on a lot of different issues. Economy, we've talked about healthcare. We probably haven't spent enough time on healthcare in the last month or so.
Do you want someone who's a quote-unquote fighter and is very anti-Trump and his policy, very anti some of the policies that have been in place for a majority Republican legislature, or is it someone who can compromise?
People like when you go to their town and you listen to them.
Weekdays from 10 to noon on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
9:54 on Wisconsin's Morning News. If you were in the last group of vehicles that just exited the freeway because you were diverted off due to a closure, and then you see the squads move and open the northbound lanes again. Because now I'm in this quagmire that is Highway 100 for folks trying to get north and around it. Watertown Plank's all jacked up because we've been diverting traffic for about 15, 20 minutes at least. But it looks like the good news is that things have opened back up on northbound 4145.
4145 at Watertown back open. It would appear everyone is starting to move again. So all the delays and congestion should dissipate, so that's great news.
For those of you who did get off, it looks like there are still pretty extensive backups on Highway 100, reaching almost from Wisconsin Avenue up past North Avenue. So that's going to be tight for you, but the freeway is back open if you want to try to find a way to get back on.
As we are expecting to hear from the president here at 10 o'clock. The White House says the president will address the war in Iran. Nothing to suggest that's not going to come down here right at the top of the hour, but as always, it's always fluid whenever a president's involved in any.
What time does the 10 o'clock news conference start?
Yeah,
right. Sometimes I shouldn't call it a news conference. We believe it's going to be a live statement of some kind. We've heard twice from the president over the weekend, but in each case, it was recorded statements.
Video, yeah. So we expect to take that live right here on WTMJ as soon as it begins. Even if it's after that, we will take it live here on the radio station.
And much more to cover as developments continue. It's turning, what did we say, overseas, 7-8 hours difference at least. So starting to go into late afternoon or evening overseas, we have seen attacks continuing from overnight our time, even into the day, both in Iran and counterattacks from Iran in other Arab nations in the Middle East. 9:57, we also have Point Taken. That is coming up. I think Scafidi's out, right? So it's Kristen Bry riding solo on Point Taken this week. I think it's one of Steve's overseas trips.
Oh, is that right? Okay, great.
So Kristen will have that for you. And we yield the remainder of our time here on Wisconsin's Morning News. 9:57.
Thank you to SAG-AFTRA for honoring me with this prize. This is very encouraging.
It's time. It's time your ad dollar reached far more than you thought possible. And it's time your ad message made a dramatic impact on your bottom line. The results we brought our small business clients are significant, and there's no reason we can't bring you the same success, no matter what your ad budget is.